archery. But,
Do you want a president? Because that's how you get a president.
Do you
and
want
then it's Danger Zone president 2016.
Archer,
so this came out, dude. It came out like right on time for Trump's election. It was pretty spot on. I got this in the loot crate.
Oh,
so.
But yeah. So I put the loot crate in the first stuff. So now check this out. So we're probably. I guess we're getting warmed up. I'm throwing the 90s.
Hey, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, I'm doing because these are movies from the 90s. Hello. How's everybody doing? We were warming up and we're good to go. So just to let you know, let you in that we were doing side by side. My name is CJ Robles,
and I'm Ben Garrett. Good to see everybody tonight. Yeah, we're sitting here at the very first of November, finishing up our October side by sides, and yeah.
Technically, it was midnight already, so it may be November 2nd, but we're still treating it like Halloween.
Whoa, yeah.
It's still Halloween here up in side by side. We slowing things down a little bit. So basically, here side by side, we find a director, actor, personality, celebrity, anything that they've made a movie, cinema, maybe a series, and we kind of just organically figure out how we get there. And how we get there is just kind of listen, and you'll see what we're doing. This should be episode 10. I'm not sure. I'm falling behind, but I'm gonna get us out this hole. I'm putting the team on my back.
I was looking back in my notes, and yeah, I'm pretty sure this is number 10.
Yeah, this is number 10. Like every great, I guess, meal, because it takes a chef a minute to prepare the ingredients and everything, and we got everything cooking. So all I gotta do is burn. But enough of that. We are, we're doing Robert Rodriguez. We're doing our very own Texas-made director.
And I'll be honest, man. I think Robert Rodriguez. I first came in contact with him with Spy Kids. That was my first big Robert Rodriguez moment.
And so what we're gonna do is we've always pick two movies and we break them down. I'm just gonna throw this out there real quick because I just finished watching we're gonna do let's introduce him. We're gonna do his 1996 movie that he directed and wrote. He directed and Quentin Tarantino wrote the screenplay. It's called From Dusk Till Dawn. Two criminals and their hostages unknowingly seek temporary refuge in a truck stop populated by vampires with chaotic results. And we're comparing that to a movie that he also directed, the 1998 sci-fi thriller, The Faculty. Students suspect that their teachers are aliens after bizarre occurrences. I'm going to say right off the bat that this hits home. This is going to be my backyard. Dusk Till Dawn was made in Ciudad Acuña. It was made at the main location for Dusk Till Dawn, the Titty Twister. It was made at a strip club on my side on the Mexico side of my border. So we visited when we were younger, but what do you call it? It's kind of crazy when you see a lot of his movies. I got introduced to Robert Rodriguez by honestly just because everyone else talked about the movie, and we were part of the filming. Mariachi, his first movie that he did. So so we're gonna really get to know CJ. I had a little bitter taste, like I was telling Ben on the last episode when we brought up how we got here, and after kind of just going through all this. Before I forget, Dusk Till Dawn is a very dark movie. If you want to see a really great horror movie, but it's dark, it is a very, very violent movie. I just want to get that out there because I forgot how dark it was. So before we get started, I would just really want to know if you're not interested, if you just want to hear us talk about it, that's all we're gonna do. But it is a dark you're gonna see it. But like I was saying, El Mariachi was filmed in Del Rio, Texas, in the Ciudad Acuña, so the more of the Mexico side, and they just kind of filmed it on the low budget of $7,000, El Mariachi. Let me look it up real quick. I should already have that ready. But I was going to say that the way Robert Rodriguez got his money for the movie was he was doing pharmaceutical studies, drug studies at PPD Pharmaco, and I had a good 8-year run doing pharmacy studies, so I got a lot of experience as a lab rat, which I am actually making into something. So we'll see what that comes from. But this is how I got introduced through him to El Mariachi because it was filmed real close to where I'm from. I mean, it's a sister city, so it is directed by him, produced by him, and Carlos Gallardo, and he's from I believe Del Rio. We're gonna see real quick with Carlos. No, he's from Ciudad Acuña. He's from the others. He's from Mexico, but this movie was made on a $7,000 budget, and after they fixed it with a $200,000 post production, it made $2 million. So right off the bat, this guy knows how to make movies, knows how to make money off movies. It took $7,000, $7,225, and was able to spend that for $2 million. So that's a huge punt, especially in 1992. That is a huge thing for an independent guy. So I understand why he holds this kind of magnitude. He did something. He did something really, really good. And I think by watching him, watching the movies and seeing how they're related to where I've walked in those areas and I've seen that, it really makes me feel like it inspired me as a kid, as I worked on just making some little movies with my friends. And I just remember seeing there's a bar in Ciudad Acuña called Corona Club. Hey, good times. And that's where they shot Desperado. His second film. It's like the spinoff to El Mariachi. And in Desperado, it's with Antonio Banderas. He shot the bar scene. There's a fight scene in there, and he shot it at the Corona Club. Well, one of the coolest things that I didn't even realize that at the time, I'm just a kid. I'm like 15 years old in the bar, and what do you call it? You look at the walls, and it's plastered. I mean, all the walls in that bar after the movie are plastered with photos of the movie, and they're framed they're like it's like the wall. And you go in there and you see and the famous ones is you have Cheech Marin. If you don't know who Cheech Marin is, you're gonna get to know him real close because he's in a lot of this. He's a very famous Chicano actor, and so he has when he gets shot in the head, he has his his arm over in the body, and then the director, Robert Rodriguez and other people are over here laughing, and there's just a picture of him right there, and I just remember looking at that picture and being like, man, that's they're showing us what they're doing. It's not just a shot of a movie. So that really always inspired me. And like I've told you, I used to love watching behind the scenes with HBO and how they show you how they make the movies. That really just kind of helped me. I mean, being a little boy watching that and being like, can I do that? I don't think I can do that. No. And then you start filming with your little cameras, your little VHS cameras, and you think this is as far as you're gonna go. And then you kind of stretch a little bit more, and then you keep. But I think. Watching going to that bar and seeing stuff like that, or going to the restaurants that they were there, they took a bunch of pictures. They're posted a lot of places, so there's a lot of little landmarks. So when you go there, it's just beautiful, and Ciudad Acuña is just a beautiful little part of Mexico. I mean, it's nice. It's I miss it a lot. I used to go over a lot when I lived down there, but I've been gone for a while. So and it's also now it's 2 hours to go and come back. It's 4 hours. So if you want to go for the day, you're gonna spend in line because. One thing I did notice in those movies when they show the border, it's real small, and I was I remember when it was that small. I remember when you just drive across, it's so easy. Now it's like a fortress, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. I used to be friendly, and now it just feels like I don't even want to go check it out. If there was a way I can spring over and just kind of jump over, I'd do it, but there's no way right now. I'll figure it out. But no, I think like I said, for me, this movie is not only nostalgia. This is my kind of my beginning. I just because after the 2000s, I don't know where he went with his work. I'm not trying to be like a critic too much or critique him, but I don't know. He kind of lost me. But also I feel like I was in high school in the 2000s, so maybe that kind of had something to do with it. Where I saw a lot of his work when I was a kid, and I thought it was good work. But as I got older,
Yeah. I think 2000s, man. Like I said, I have to backtrack. I didn't realize it, but The Faculty, I'd watched that before Spy Kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd seen that whenever I was younger. Excuse me, younger. but I had to be like eight or nine whenever I saw The Faculty. Um, but yeah, Spy Kids, that's where he kind of went in 2000s, man. He was focused more on like family friendly movies and stuff like that. Um, and honestly, dude, I really see. I was Spy Kids probably came out in like 99 or
I think
2000.
yeah. Let's see.
Let's see here.
The Spy Kids movie was. I have Spy Kids 2 or Spy Kids 1.
Let's see here.
Spy Kids. It was 2001.
2001.
Mhm.
Okay, and you know it's spinned off what, one, two, three, four, third, yeah, three sequels and then a TV show. So I mean, fairly successful franchise. Um, well, it's a big franchise, or fairly big franchise comparatively. Um, but yeah, man, these like I said, The Faculty I watched whenever I was pretty young. Uh, so the main thing I got out of it whenever I was younger was like, ooh, you get to see Mary Beth naked at the end.
Oh God,
Um,
yes. Like okay. So I forgot for some reason I watched The Faculty first, and then I watched From Dusk Till Dawn. But
Same.
I think it was all right. Let's start off with The Faculty. Wow. So The Faculty, it is. Let's see what he just directed that one. It is
Yes,
written. It is written.
he didn't write that one.
It is written by was it quite a few people here. The Faculty. I think it was. I thought it
Yeah.
was Kevin Williamson.
It
There it is.
was actually the
Screenplay.
guys who did Scream for
Yeah.
yeah. And you know what's funny, man, is I was looking at the poster that you have behind you right there.
Hmm.
You know it's eerily reminiscent of
Screen.
Independence Day.
Oh yeah. It also has. I feel like it's on the screen file. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Independence Day, Erie. Yeah, it does. It look like that.
yeah,
So
and
yeah,
but
go.
yeah, man, sorry. It's funny, dude, because like whenever I first saw this movie, like Aliens was not the first thing that popped in my mind.
Oh,
Of course,
okay.
like I said, I was crazy young, dude. Like I had no movie knowledge at all, you know, and so it was, yeah, man. Like I even wrote down in my notes, like trying to watch this as somebody who'd never seen it. I was like, Aliens. Like there was a lot of references to Aliens, like what Stokely was reading, and they talked about giving Casey a probe and stuff like
Yeah.
that throughout the movie. So like there's little hints and like little foreshadowing, even though like even on the movie poster it's like, oh, it's going to be out of this world, or you think your teachers are from another planet. So I mean they're selling it as like a sci-fi alien movie. Um, but just going into it, man, I had no clue. I had no idea what I was getting into. I knew it was going to be a scary movie, and they were in high school, and that's really all I knew. And honestly, dude, like one of the first kind of scary movies that I actually didn't mind. Like I said, I watched Chucky whenever I was younger, and that scared the bejesus out of me.
Oh God, it's been
Yeah, I hated Child's Play for the longest time. Um, you know, like I said, I think I was like 6 years old whenever somebody showed that to me, and
Child's Play.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so it didn't help that I was like a little redheaded kid, like bright red hair, like Chucky.
Chucky.
So yeah, man. So I'm just sitting there looking in the mirror and just getting scared to death. You know,
Yeah.
uh, it really it can mess with you a little bit.
Being a
But
redheaded stepchild.
yeah, exactly. I was one for 10 years, man. I got to know that stereotype well.
Okay, can we trust you though? That's the question.
That is a great question, man. I don't know.
I
I
forgot
don't know.
forgot to put the movie in the background. One thing I gotta say right away. So this one, like I said, these two, Robert Rodriguez is not only I don't want to say I followed him here because it's not really why I'm here. I just kind of ended up here in Austin. I was I'll say between back then driving. I like driving to like different cities and hanging out with my friends. And when we were younger, I really got to know the distance of how big Texas is. It's massive. And also when I played AAU basketball, for like 3 summers, you just we went all over Texas. So I get to know how big the areas are, the cities. And if you do, like if there's a city in Texas I've never heard of, it's probably like population 2,000 or 1,500, 600. And this
Yeah.
movie is shot in Ohio. The scene, the story's in Ohio, but it has a
Yeah.
Texas feel to it to me.
It's
Like
because it's shot in
because it's shot,
Lockhart, Texas.
it's shot in Lockhart,
Yeah.
and it's shot here in Austin. It's
Really.
yeah. There's so I
Good.
want to. What's up?
I thought it was so funny that that school looked just so run down and terrible, man. And I was just like, Texas.
Yeah.
Like that's the first thing that came to mind.
So when I watch this, I always think it's in Texas, not Ohio. But I will say that one of the most, I guess, inspiring things about this movie, I mean, I love it. I'm just always like, I can always watch this movie. I had I thought I was gonna be lead with something, but I'm not. So I'm just gonna lead with this. It's shot in also in ACC Rio Grande, the one that's kind of like downtown. I think I'm not mistaken. I gotta check this, but I think this movie revived that college. I think it was already like shut down, and when they came into it, they like renovated it and brought it up. And I think because I at one point I remember telling myself, I am going to go to school at that school, and without even knowing, without even thinking about it, I ended up shooting a short film, or not, like a short film there. So I have on one of my Sweet Espresso was shot at the ACC Rio Grande when I first started going to school at ACC, and where it was it was cool, really cool little thing I shot. Great acting. What was I gonna say? So I kind of feel like when I watched that, I walked through those halls. I had classes there. It's that smell, the old school. I love that. I love it. Like, even when you go in like a basketball court and the gym and you smell that old hardwood floor, like that's, I don't know, it's just time. It's been around for a while. I like that. I like me a vintage. I like the nostalgia. But just to start off right away with this movie, the beginning of it, the introduction of the adults and how they're kind of like they're going against the grind. They don't have anything to really like motivate them to be there other than the kids that gives them paid. I mean, one teacher, Tate, also I wanted to say that with some of these actors, we have repeat offenders.
Sure do.
Daniel Van Bargen, he's a teacher, and he was also in Super Troopers.
Yep.
He was the chief. So here we go. I got something now. We're now my notes are getting a little bit more structured, so I'm remembering a little bit more of like who we can talk about. And yeah, he's in it, so that was cool. He's an Austin movie, and this is definitely an Austin movie. Also shot in Lockhart. Let's get some love there. I'll say that this man Robert Rodriguez, him and Tarantino, they figured out they figured out the equation of how to make a good movie. And like one of the good things is you got to get the right people. You got to cast the right people, and in this movie and in the other movie, he did that.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how your high school experience was. I'll say this: my parents' thing was the hard thing, but I'll say going to high school was kind of like I did a lot of things. I was in a bunch of clubs. I played sports. I was very active, kind of like how I am today, and I kind of just. I didn't consider myself like a jock, or I call myself the jock thespian because I was like, I don't think anybody else really was that. I was like, on stage and video.
You were cool before High School Musical came around, buddy.
I should this whole time, and then they still only want to cast me as a high school kid. Oh, I should have done it. Going to school, I didn't think about being a cool kid or being one of the guys, and it was just kind of it was a little. One thing I will say that high school I noticed was rougher for me as a freshman than when I was a senior. Like I remember at one point being like, dude, we used to get hazed and they used to like pick on us and then like we're all getting along, and I just accepted it. Like I didn't try to be that guy to hold on to it. Like, no, we gotta bring it back. I was like, this is different times. Cool, I guess. I'm like, oh, that's cool, And then I'm kind of glad because now as an older adult, the friendships I made, they're still kind of cool for me when I go back home. But for this movie, they just got the right kids, man. They got the way now that I watch movies and I really break them down and I dissect them, and man, like the Josh Hartnett character, Zeke, dude, the badass. He plays like he got him down. The Elijah Woods, Casey, man, he's a great. They play these guys play all these characters. They play great roles. Like they play the part. They understand it at a young age. I don't know. I'm pretty sure these were like in the early 20s, but I think you get to see I think I like this about Elijah Woods is we got to see him when he was a kid, and I believe this is like one of his first teen roles or him like playing a high school kid, and it's a sci-fi movie. Yeah. Like this is awesome. Like this is a kick-ass movie. This movie is like the beat, the way you watch a movie. Like he directs well. Like I really feel like he was really Robert Rodriguez was really like putting his all in these movies. Like this is what I really want to see again. Like this is kind of now when I watch this is not a horror movie. This is more of a sci-fi thriller, and it's a whodunit. So, I mean, I when I watch movies, I really try to that now when I watch them, I try to like forget a lot of things. I try to just watch the movie as it is, and then but little things happen. But then I start getting excited. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna happen. What did I write here? These are the because I started it different. Never mind. I'm my notes were a little bit different on this one, but yeah, I could just talk about it. Like Stokely, like her character now to me has more value than all the characters now.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how precious she was. That the dam. Well, what is it? Is it a pod? Is it a virus?
Parasite.
Parasite is what they call it.
Yeah.
So in the way the
That's what I would.
Yeah. Excuse me. So the way the parasite kind of let's talk about the parasite for a minute. I never thought about. This movie is just it's to me it's like a rock video. And you just kind of like jam out to it and it's over. Yeah. And now that I really got to know it, I'm like, oh no, this is way more than that. This is beautiful.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. What you got?
Does Mary Beth start in Ohio? Is she from Atlanta? How does she get that accent, dude?
Oh, that's the thing though. Okay, so
dude, like are there other places that are infected and then as soon as she dies, like, or are there many pods sent at once and she's just that one in Ohio, you know?
Yeah. Remember, spoilers, so we're going to tell you this right now. I think we said it earlier, but I totally forgot to say it. But
not this time.
Let me tell you this. Yeah, you fell into our trap. Ha ha. So I'll tell you this. The reveal, because this movie came out in, 96, right? So I was 98? So I was in 8th grade when I saw this. When I left the movie theater, I was pumped, man. I wanted to go back and watch it again. Like, I was so close to doing that because this is kind of what the high school experience is at that time frame.
Yep.
We used to joke around. We did that stupid pole thing. They did it to me a few times. My buddies would pick you up and they ram your package in the pole. Like I had.
We just got to where we would just hit people in the nuts and you just going about your day.
God, I hated that.
Racking.
You got racked. Oh God, I hated that. That was like one of the worst things. People pantsing. You know, when people like run behind you and they pull your pants down. I always wore tights. So even like when we were in our mid-20s and we were playing basketball, our star quarterback, Jerry, he even tried to pants me there. And he was like, oh, you're wearing tights. It doesn't work when somebody wears tights. I'm like, yeah, Jerry, I'm running around. Come on, man. It's like, why would I run around like commando style like you? It's like, but, I talk about bullying a little bit. And this movie kind of has a little bit of bullying, but I think bullying's okay. I'm one of those people that is I'm for bullying, and once you hear why, maybe you'll understand why I think this. I'm 36 years old, and everybody that bullied me when I was a kid are losers. So I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I'll always pick my day or theirs. You know, I'm cool with this. So hey, it happens, man. You peak kind of at a young age when you're a bully. There's a reason why, but you make men. Thank you. I think that's the point of pressure. If you get rid of the bullies and you have no more pressure, and then when things get hard, when you're super soft, when things get hard, you can't handle them. But when you think about somebody like, oh, I don't want to go back to that place. Why? Because that guy's there, and I'm gonna make sure I don't get there. You know, even like women are bullies, girls are bullies, man. Like people, it goes both ways. When you get older, you'll get a job and you have a manager with a little short girl, and if she doesn't like you, hey, she can bully you if she wants, you know. So it doesn't end. Like I know Facebook bullying, politics, all that stuff. Thank you because you made this show possible. We want to thank you for all your negativity on the internet. I just want to thank you for all sharing all that social media nonsense, and thank you for it because it's making us better. Because he's right, we can't even turn on the damn iPhone without seeing something. Anyways, with that rant being said, it makes things like it's tough, and life is not. It's not easy, so just enjoy it and be and kind of. If you are the bully, by the way, which is if you are the bully, cool. You know, keep doing what you're doing. You're gonna peak soon, so keep enjoying it, man. You're gonna rock out cool, so it's gonna be fun. I don't know. Sorry, it's a high school movie. I kind of it's just high school. It is what it is. You're a kid. You're growing up. I think you have to go through it though, because I don't think you need to go to high school for the education. You kind of educate yourself. You just need to go to high school to kind of learn to be around people, and I think that's the important part. I think it's important to be around amongst other people and understand that this person is quiet for a reason, and understand why they're quiet. And if you're around them and they like you, they'll talk to you. You know, I have a lot of friends, and I don't really isolate myself in one group, because I don't like that. Only being, if I'm going to be part of a group, I want to be the group I create, not the group that like creates me or something. And it's just, a lot of guys I remember growing up, as soon as we got to seniors, they're from elementary, they got kind of real boring, just playing poker and I don't know, just sitting down playing poker and just drinking a little beer. I was like, yeah, I want a little bit more of this shit. Excuse me. But, seeing, and I wasn't like tortured or anything. I was kind of taller than everybody else. So they kind of had to, it was hard to get me. So, and I'm not even that tall. So we're just trying to say, I think this movie really, to me, showed me the characters and their value. And these actors, they played the part perfect. They casted the perfect role. Like even Stan, his name's Sean O'Shitty, or sorry, I'm
Sean O'Shitty?
Sorry, I just ruined it. I was trying to say it earlier. Hatosi, Hatosi.
Let's see.
That's a Stan character.
Stan.
You see how you say that?
Let's see, where is he at? Oh, he's not even on the. Jon Stewart he's on there more than Stan.
Yeah, Jon Stewart, shout out.
Oh, dude, I love that. Yeah. Like, let's see here. Stan. Sean. Yeah, Hatosi.
Yeah. He does a good job. He was in a movie called Alpha Dog, and he does a really good job in that, annoying me. He gets under my skin in that movie, and then in this one, like Stan, I gotta say, I have one of my notes is that you can kind of MCU this movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think Stan could be Captain America, and then Zeke is Thor. Spider-Man is Casey. Stokely, which I love that name, by the way, for a female. Stokely is Black Widow, and
I'd give her Scarlet Witch and give Jordana Brewster Black Widow.
Black Widow, okay, yeah, a little bit more. Yeah, you're right. So you could kind of MCU them, and I was like, okay, cool. But Jordana Brewster, she's like beautiful in this movie.
Yeah, dude.
What's up?
Fun fact, dude. Another actor that we have covered in a side-by-side is Bobby from Scary Movie.
Yeah, he comes out and
he's in this just a little bit, dude. Like
John
even
Abrahams.
The credits. Yeah.
Oh, you get his name in the credits?
Yeah. Because they're just like.
I wrote it down.
Oh, dude, yes. Like, I thought that was pretty fun. I was like, whenever I first saw them arguing, I was like, is that him?
No, yeah. I was gonna say shout out to my boy from Scary Movie, Bobby. That's his name on the that's their name. Would you like to say?
It was a good finger to reference his name as well that you're using there.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's an F and then a star and then the % sign and then a hashtag or a pound sign, whichever one you use.
This was rated R. Was it rated PG-13?
I think it's 13. Let's see. Let's find out. Confirm. It is R. Actually, it's an R.
Yeah. I mean, you do see boobs.
I will say that this movie poster really drug me into the. I remember the trailer wasn't too revealing. It was just very simple, high school kind of sci-fi movie. But the one thing that got me, especially at this time, was that Usher Raymond was in this.
Dude, yes.
And I was so hyped to watch this because of Usher. I was like, oh, he's got a part in it. Hell yeah, he's in this. And he's not in it. He's just a side character.
And apparently he had a girlfriend who was supposed to be in the movie, Kadada Jones or something like that. It's Rashida Jones' sister.
Okay.
Yeah, and she had like some deleted scenes and all that, and she was like there's gonna be like a little side story with her, but then it got scrapped. But she was Usher's girlfriend in the movie. I was just kind of reading about that, and I was like, interesting.
No, So now he plays Gabe, and he's just kind of stands like he's like a running back or like defensive back or something. He's like a stud on the football team. He actually does something which is kind of like a not super. Well, he becomes a pod. Yeah, he becomes infested by parasite. So he basically, I said, let's talk about the parasite, and I forgot about him. He said, let's talk about. He does a tackle with a clothesline,
Hmm.
and it just kind of kills. And that scene where they put the the pods in the ears is crazy. Like you can infect a bunch of those players, and that's how they do it. And by the way, I think this is how excuse me, I don't want to go there, but this would kind of like if COVID-19 would have passed, it'd be like this is how it passed in high school. It's
Yeah.
like COVID-19 going around. Just like
Dude,
everybody's
yeah,
doing.
I mean, no joke. And yeah, you're absolutely right, man. Like they totally played it off too. Like they were real subtle about it. Well, subtle, I mean, as subtle as you can be. But like nobody's gonna be up close. And everybody that is up close, they already know what's going on. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
whenever they dogpile that one character, and then yeah, of course he's gonna get infected.
So let's do talk about the parasite because I got it. We'll go through all the characters, but I gotta say, um, I didn't really think about how the parasite works.
No.
How
Well, I don't think you're supposed to, honestly, man. I think this is one of those movies where it's like a fun ride, and if you kind of suspend yourself from reality just a little bit. You don't think too much of it.
but
Uh, but
but I
go
will
for it.
say
Yeah,
I'll say this. I understand it more now,
yeah.
and now when I really look at this movie, the characters they mean so much more to me, and they even say it in the movie where she starts saying where Mary Beth is trying to get Casey, she's just telling him about how the parasite works and how they got there. Like
Mhm.
it got there, it's lonely. It wanted to be different, and then it got to that school and it realized everybody's the same, but these kids are, they're different. And I was trying to remember how they interweave together, and it's just coincidence in a way. Basically, Stan is with Delilah, and then Zeke just haven't been the
Casey.
same. Yeah, Zeke. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, in case you haven't been in the same class as I think Furlong is John Stewart's
Mhm.
character's name. They happen to be in there, and then when he gets his finger bit too, you're like, oh crap, it's like the sci-fi is a little dated, it's very little, but it's a little dated. But
Yeah.
you really get to see
Well,
the what's up.
and you feel like it's a small town too, like because they all know who each other is. Like even being from different uh, cliques in their high school. I mean, they're all aware of who each person is, and because yeah, what was it? Delilah and Casey, and then Delilah and Stokely. And he knows both of them. He's uh, and
Well,
then
because the way they talk to
because he
Stokely, yeah.
yeah, he goes to talk to Stokely about the parasites. Like that's the first person he goes to, and then yeah, and then Stan gets involved because Delilah, and then Zeke overhears it. I mean, he really wasn't even part of the group. He was getting his equipment together.
I like Zeke's character way well because man, he's just a badass. Zeke's a badass in this movie, and I'm actually happy he joins the football team and he's smoking cigarettes on the practice squad. That's pretty cool. You mean they lost Stan, but they gained Zeke. But before we
They,
get there, I'll tell you this parasite with me, I I I find it more interesting now because it is Mary Beth. You don't know that until you get the reveal at the end, and then you're like, okay. But I know now knowing this, I'm like, once again, this is like Scream. Kevin Williamson, you did it again. You put the monster right in front of our face the whole time. Look at your little pattern here. We got you there, bud. It's good though. It's good. Like I didn't know it at the time when I saw it. I loved it. But when you see that with Mary Beth, now this is why Stokely to me is the most valuable character in this movie. Mary Beth is interested. It's a pod. It's like she connects, and the more she gets that person, she gets their feelings, and she gets to understand why they tick, and that's why she says they stick out because they already have everybody else, and they're just regular, boring, average Joe people, And what I've been putting them down, just they're just the ones that don't stick out, and that's why she gets alienates these ones and goes at them, and but she really likes Stokely because she's interested about being gay, lesbian, and I didn't understand that the most until I caught a scene that I was like, wow, this is intense. The scene where Stan goes out and he goes looks at the coach, and that's actually pretty cool. Like he's in the water, like you start seeing the coach being a little different. He's in the rain drinking the water, and it shows his face. And then Stan comes back and he's infested. And but man, what he says to Stokely, did you pay attention? What's going on?
what was it they said? Just
Stan,
refresh my memory.
Stan is one side of the glass, Stokely's on the other, and they're talking to each other. And he's like, it's so good, it's so relieved. Come over here, I want you, I want you, I want you. Well, guess who's behind Stokely? I didn't even catch
Uh,
it. Mary Beth. It's not Stan saying that. It's Mary Beth saying that. That's. I don't know. Like I hope they wrote that. I hope I'm not making this up. I hope
yeah, that's
dude, it's
good.
insane. I like it was like I watched like 3 times because I was just like eating like a nice steak. I was like, oh, look, it's so beautiful right here. Look at this thing. This is awesome. It's just like a great like man. It's wow. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like I saw that it's like she wants her. That's why. And then when at the end when they're by themselves, Stokely and Maribeth. That's why Maribeth talks to her about it. So and I'm tired of being something I'm not. She wants to be that monster. And then the reveal, the monster reveal, oh, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It's just a giant, like I don't know what to call it, a crab looking thing. It just looks like a giant shrimp. I don't know, but it it's kind of hard to describe. But it definitely I understood it more. It's living through the kids. It's living through the teachers, and it affected the staff and the faculty. And they show the personality changes because the coach you only see him crazy in the beginning, and that's once.
Yeah,
And
you think
then
he's on steroids?
probably. I was wondering, like, he's probably one of those coaches. I was like, the interview very eager, like, he won a bunch of games, he just wants to keep winning. I can see that. The ladies, the lady that's so Drake is the one that gets like they kill her in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
But then if they kill her and then they infected her, then why is she still alive? Or what? How did they?
So the best way I can think of it is probably off of a Futurama episode. Did you watch
Oh,
Futurama?
oh, 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 yes,
The one where he gets worms. That
yes.
has to be it. Because I mean, Famika Jensen, who also was in Maid,
Repeat. He got it.
um, she was decapitated, and then her head just crawls back, and then puts it back on, and she's all well and dandy at the end of the movie.
And her,
So it has to be some kind of like regeneration thing to where they can help the body as long and even they say like it's drying the humans out. That's why they have to drink so much water. So they must just be taking so much, but there has to be some kind of
I
reparative
think because
factor.
the what's the little mouse, whatever his name is,
Yeah.
he says he opens up like it eats 60%. So it's kind of like Venom,
Yeah.
the symbiote that he needs to have water or it's going to eat the inside of itself. I think that's what basically is. And then all the signs are there that Maribeth is the monster. Like when they do the die and she talks about the way she talks to things and I mean, she does go swimming. That's one thing I did put that they did throw in that horror movie, naked hot chick scene. You got to have one in the horror movie. Just like once again, you have to say the title of the movie in the movie.
Faculty.
They say
Yeah.
it. Horror movies. They're good at that, man. They're all doing that. Where are we on this? I like that at the end of the movie. I thought when Zeke and he ends up with Miss Burke because he's older. He was
Yeah.
he did a senior year again, so he's actually at least
Dude, and
18.
that's what I was writing in here too. Was like because he like mentioned Jerry condoms before. Do you think like, and she was just so meek and like a little schoolgirl around him. I think they probably had a thing beforehand, and
Or
so
maybe
that's
he took
that's
advantage of her or something.
yeah, and
And then she.
because she said something. She's like, "That's so rude," like she's just hurt by it, and I could see Zeke like,
Yeah.
especially being so smart and all this other stuff. Like he's obviously he shouldn't have been held back. Like he's just that underachiever, doesn't really give a shit. Like he's like, you know,
Well, I like Zeke a lot because he's one thing that showed me from the '90s that you don't have to be the kid that gets all A's to be smart.
yeah,
He showed me that he's very intelligent. He's a damn scientist, man. He knows
mhm,
exactly what it is. He breaks everything down. Him and Furlong have a conversation about what it is. And I mean, Zeke kind of takes control, and that's one thing I love about the Zeke character. You don't really know much about him, about his parents or any situation. He's always kind of a badass, and he takes control a lot. He shoots Drake in the head. He's the one that, crashes his car. God, when he crashes his car, I was like, oh my God, that was tough. He had to do it to
yeah.
survive, but it's the car or him, but that sucked. I was like, man. But what I did notice about what I did notice about the Parasite was that it wanted to be the individuals. It's still united though. Did you get what I'm saying? Like it wanted
Yeah.
Stan to be Stan, but still like it controlled him. It wanted
Yeah.
to be Stokely. It wanted to know about Stokely. It was trying to get Casey. It's trying to understand. It's trying to understand more of the kids, and it wants to feed on their, I guess, youth or something. I don't really see that like how we kind of broke down the creeper as being a real creeper, like it could be a real thing. I don't think this was that. I thought this was just more of a like maybe a youth thing or something. But by the way,
Yeah.
I found out I did some research. I saw a research video, and it turns out that Jeepers Creepers was shot in Florida, or the idea of the stories in Florida. So I just figured the creeper is just the Florida man.
Yeah.
That's all he is. He's just a Florida man. He's just a regular
Just
guy
a
in
Florida
Florida.
man.
That's all he is. Just Florida man.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
From what I know, I have never traveled down that way, so I have no personal experience, but I can only imagine. Yeah, dude. So, kind of what you mentioned on, like, he wanted them to be individual, but like one as well, or she, I guess. Um, yeah, I mean that totally makes sense. One thing I thought was kind of cool, like at the end of the movie, they had all changed,
Yeah.
even without like they didn't want to change. They didn't want to be this, hive mind kind of thing. But they ended up changing anyway without even meaning to. It
Yeah.
was just that experience brought out new. I wouldn't even say. I guess yeah, new personality traits that were
Yeah.
always kind of there, but just hiding. And what were we gonna say?
I was gonna say I think the struggle or the survival of that brought up their hidden potential, but also but also the like Miss Burke, she's also at the game, so I think maybe she feels more comfortable with her sexuality. But I think that thing just kind of made you advance, and then when exactly like the worms. But I think once the worms are gone, you need the worms to stay there. But I think this is the worms are gone, and it left whatever the effect it was.
Well, and let's see, Zeke, I think was the only one who wasn't infected by the
Yeah,
parasites. Everybody else was.
I was gonna say because even Casey does get infected, even though it's only for a split second, or if it even is a second, he at least gets like Zeke is actually the only one. Because I thought Casey and Zeke weren't, but then I forgot about the spit at the end. And that line guaranteed to jack you up, pop. Like that was awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically it was Casey at the end, the queen, man. He's got to go up against the. It's kind of you think she's the final girl, but no, it's the queen. Like she's been in front of your face the whole time. Kevin Williamson really doesn't. He doesn't like write really obvious, but it's good. It's like it writes really well. Even I even noticed that with Stan acts different when he comes back from the coach. Like he doesn't know how to the personality. The Mary Beth doesn't know how to make people kind of like not Mary Beth-ish in a way because even he looks kind of wide-eyed. The coach, I guess the because I thought maybe they kind of looked at each other, but there's a point where Casey falls down and Stokely grabs the hair, and then she yells to Mary Beth, "He's over here, I got him." But it's just like if they were all one mind, she wouldn't have to say anything. But I don't know, maybe it's just for obvious reasons. But let's see. I mean, I can go about the characters alone. This movie, other than this, like the story, they make. I mean, they make a parking lot scene. Oh, sorry, what's that?
I think they do have like that hive mind mentality because that student driver, whenever Delilah is revealed, like that car pulls up way before she even reveals herself. So that whole there has to be something there, some kind of. But it could have been Mary Beth strictly, like just saying, "Hey, tell him this one."
Well, also, I did about you said the high mentality with Stan. Once he's in the jersey in the beginning of the movie, and then he doesn't want to conform and he wants to get out of football, so he turns it. But then when he does turn back into when he gets infected, he's wearing the jersey again. He's running around with the jersey, which like I mean they made a parking lot scene cool, man. Like they made a cool like Zeke breaking into the car and then fighting Miss Burke, and then Casey running away from everybody. And the football player with the helmet breaking it down, and he has to jump over and get through Delilah. It's like it's intense. It's got a lot of action. This is a great action. This movie, from the get go, you kind of just go straight into it. It's basically this is like less than 20. This is like less than a day. Movie. The time frame of this movie.
Mm-hmm. It's dude, and that's what I was gonna say too. Like they picked up pretty fast on what was going on. Another thing that I have written down too is like kind of like with Scream, like the kids kind of break down science movies. They're like, well, whenever they're in they're in there with Zeke, they're just like in his little chemistry lab, they're like breaking stuff down. It's like, what do we know? Like what do we know about aliens? Well, in Puppet Masters is based off, or the Pod People is based off of this, and so once again they use their movie knowledge, and even in From Dusk Till Dawn, like they bring that up too. So I think it's funny that like these movies are almost self-aware in that aspect. Like they realize that they're using fiction
Yeah.
to do all that. And even Casey's just like, well, you're focused on the science part, or you're focused on the science part, and then you don't worry about the fiction or something like that. I can't remember exactly what he was saying, but just his little rambling about science fiction and everything kind of made sense.
I mean, Stokely's the brain of the crew, so she's the one that read the books and she's the one that knows everything. So she kind of guides them a little bit. I mean, it is quick. This movie goes by pretty fast. And Stokely, I think we're just trying to protect her without even knowing.
Yeah.
Because they end up back at the school only because why did they go back to the school? Because they're going after they think it's Drake.
Yeah, they think it's Drake, and it's the football game going on.
Yeah. So, yeah. So because they do think it's Drake, so they're going over there. Even that scene with when they killed Drake. Like Zeke takes over and shoots her because Stan and Casey are trying to play tough guy. But I noticed that's when you see Casey's character development.
Yeah,
you see him because even he starts to get like real aggressive. And shout out to his dad, Christopher McDonald. Shoot him, McGavin. He can't.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No. No. Shoot him, McGavin. Christopher McDonald. He's in it, and man, he came out in a movie with. Christopher Lambert. It's like comes kind of I gotta look it up, but it's like Road Warriors or something like that. And I don't want to I don't know if it's that movie, but he dies in a car accident. It's pretty brutal. I mean, it's not you don't see it, but he burns up in a car and it's like whoa. But that's why I remember him from that movie, and then I saw Happy Gilmore, and I was just like, oh, okay, I'll remember him as this character. Happy Gilmore, this is a lot better.
Flubber Man, that's what I remember him.
Flubber, yeah. Also, he's in not Screwed, Dirty Work. Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
Lang. Yeah. That's a good one. Dude.
Oh.
What's up?
Oh, sorry. Not to go away from Christopher McDonald, but one thing I saw that I had written down here are drugs are the answer / the cure of like the parasites and everything.
Yeah.
And speaking of like, yeah, I guess it's a good thing they didn't use the drugs on like everybody, because I don't think Miss Drake came back. I think she probably stayed dead.
She did that.
Yeah. But that's because the parasites weren't protecting her anymore.
And once we see that Mary Beth.
But Jon Stewart came back.
Yeah, too. That's you see him because at the end you see him with the eye. That's kind of. I always thought that was kind of cool that they did that. That they let him kind of survive a little bit.
But that had to have been his idea. He's like, just let me come back with an eye patch and holding a donut and then try to food because that's strictly for comedic purposes. But man, it's totally Jon Stewart, and I love that he's in this movie, even if it's for a second.
Yeah, no, yeah, he does a great job. He pulls it off as a teacher. He was on the Daily Show for so long. You get to see him all the time, and then he went away for a little bit and he came back with the white hair and he's all grayed out now. Mm-hmm. And it's like, whoa, he's like Silver Fox, like, oh crap. But
Big Daddy, man. I mean, he had a fairly big role in Big Daddy. I mean, he was his son, or that was his son and everything.
Yeah, it was his son. I mean, he's in the beginning and the end, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, he's the reason the story kind of goes, even though he's not in it. But yeah.
He's also in Half Baked. As the on weed. He's like, ever seen the back of a $20 bill on weed? that is him. Man, I didn't even realize I was gonna. Sorry, everybody. I feel like I'm all over the place. I love this movie. I really do. It's just a great movie. High school could be pretty rough for some people. But if you kind of just see some of these kids and see, how they handle it, and it is kind of like for, I mean, class of 1999. That's even pretty cool about that. They have it right there. That's cool on the cover.
Right before the millennium and everything like that. I have one thing to throw at you, CJ. That's kind of like what we started off with before, when we first started side by side. I have a theory.
What's going on?
All right, so could this just be a drug-fueled delusion of Casey's?
I thought about
don't
that.
think it. I don't think it is, just because like the high school gets torn up. You have FBI and all these other people. Like, is it a hoax? And I don't know. Everybody seems to cooperate with the story.
So that's what I'll tell you this. So when the monster at the end starts evaporating, my first thing was, oh wait, it is evaporating. They're all dying. Hey, they're gonna think this was a hoax. And sure enough, one of the covers on the Times, which has Casey on it, it says hero or hoax, which also added, that I didn't think about before, that Delilah is not only with him because he gets the attention, but he understands that now. And to get her, and he's got that confidence, like, who do I have now? Like, she's now his rep. Now she's already hit it in high school. She had a guy that's going to make her get somewhere, and then until, 5 years, and she leaves him for some other guy or whatever.
Yeah, well, that's what she was looking for in Stan anyway.
Yeah, and in Stan, yeah, exactly, and that's why she lost Stan. And Stan and Stokely hook up because Stokely wants to share her life with somebody else, but she just doesn't know, And Stan is just like that kind of opposite of her. I like that they kind of work out like that. What were we gonna say? We kind of lost track a little bit. I was thinking that, what if it was like, I don't know how to say this. The story to me is like, what if someone, like a bunch of people start doing meth in like a small town, and they started going around, and there's only one guy who's like, no, meth's not good. Like, I can see like drugs. And then when you said that drug induced, I was like, I can see that now. Like, where maybe he was, but I get what you're saying, that he did he's tweaking out the whole time. I can understand if he tweaked out in the beginning of the movie, or somehow you see it where it does. I don't think so, but because he does it a lot. He hits it 3 times. Like, so I think, is it 3? Yeah, I think 3 times.
They do it in the chemistry lab. He has to do it at the very end, right before he kills the monster, and then
Zeke makes him do it, because Zeke, I call him. He goes, "Do it, man. I leave for 5 minutes. I come back, you're all infected."
Yeah.
Like,
and then what was the third time?
I'm trying to think. I don't think it was the third time. I think I just made that up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I thought maybe I was like, man, he does it a lot, but I didn't. Because I forgot that Zeke makes him do it again, because he does start tweaking. He's like, oh, I'm seeing double. Like, I like man, Elijah Wood's perfect for this role as Casey, man. Like, it was like made for him. I'm pretty sure Robert Rodriguez wrote it with him in mind, But no, sorry, he didn't write it. Kevin Williamson wrote it. I'm pretty sure he had it in mind. But I mean, like I said, Robert Rodriguez directed this. We're seeing it through his view, through his eyes, and it's cool that he can take this screenplay and adapt it well. Oh, dude, Stokely figures it out. But right before she figures it out, Mary Beth knocks her out. But did you see it on her face? She just gets it. Like, she's like, "Oh God, it's you." And that's why I like her. She's so smart. Like, she gets everything. Like,
So one thing that I thought was pretty cool was like, so at the beginning of the movie, you have like all their names. Like, it's like this is a rundown of like who all's in it, and I even wrote their names down like right after that. Like, what was it? Stan, Stokely, Casey, Delilah, Mary Beth, Zeke, and I had Mary Beth. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's just those few right there. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? 6 of them. Cool.
Well, right once I noticed the name, Usher's name, that's when I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on?
You got. They got you. The old bait and switch. Put Usher on
the bait and switch.
Put Usher on there. Put Drew Barrymore on the poster, and we'll just come to the movie.
They know really. They know how to get me, man. And I put the movie in the background. Let's see. What am I put? What? Sorry, I misspelled something. Yeah, there he goes. So also, there's a shout out to my boy from Above the Rim, DeJuan Martin. He's in it. He's the cop, and he gets in the back with his drink. Yeah, I like Above the Rim. It's one of my favorite movies. I don't know if we're gonna get around to this, but I will do a breakdown of this. This is one of my favorite movies, '94. So he's in this one, and he comes out. He has a short little cameo as the cop, and he gets infected. So they show you that with his character. It shows you how he's very uptight, and then when he comes back, he's very deadpan. And they even tell you that there's the personalities. I mean, it is crazy. I didn't think about how the coaches go super nice from now for the whole. The beginning he's super psycho, and then he's just calm. Robert Patrick the whole time. The T-1000 is doing the T-1000 again.
Dude, yeah, Robert Patrick was perfect for this role. Because, like I said, I mean, I thought his portrayal was perfect because you just get that craziness, like you said at the beginning. Like he just goes over, like after he gets done yelling at Stan, like goes over and then tips over all this water for no reason. It gets pissed off that the water's coming out of the ground and goes and stomps on it. And so I guess that's when Mary Beth comes up and gets his attention.
Well,
what do you want?
The thing is, so that's the funny part I caught on, that he hates the water in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And then at the part he's like in the shower, like he hates water. Like who the hell hates water? Like, fuck you, H2O.
Especially a coach, man.
Yeah, like, keep your kids hydrated. He's kind of in that crazy level there as a coach. I do think the personality changes. You see him real prominent in the older characters, but in the younger ones you'll see it, like, because you don't see they kind of get infected at the end. It's not really they're not really the whole time, because Gabe's character kind of stays like the Usher character kind of stays the same a little bit, and then the other people are, I don't know, just like their faces are just deadpan, like just it's
like Danny Matheson.
Yeah, so now the scene where sorry Danny, he's going through the Me Too thing. You're in this movie, but what do you call it? His character when they're actually the same name as Bot, or is his name John Abrams, the F name. Their name is they have like the the F guy one, like messed up guy. They put it for their name, like that's his
Wiley
name.
Wiggins. That was the other one, dude. That's the kid from Dazed and Confused.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't doubt it. It's awesome.
Oh, dude, I didn't even realize that. Like he didn't even look the same.
He definitely looked the same. But
whoa. Sorry.
No. Check it out. Also, little shout out for the ACC. I did hear that I never saw him, so I don't know. But I did hear that he did sign up for the motion graphics degree program at ACC, and that's the degree I got. I think he's 2 classes behind me. I think he finished, but he did. He went to the program, and I'm like, man, I should have just waited. I should just wait one more year, and I could have probably worked with this guy.
Right?
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah, he's also born in Austin.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wiley Wiggins, one of our boys from here. We'll put you in something, bro. Even though you probably got a lot of work, we'll find something. We'll try to get ourselves connected with you. He's Dazed and Confused, another awesome movie. That is a Richard Linklater movie.
Richard Linklater.
Man, another Austin film. All right, so let's get them all out the bag. Well, we got them. We got Mike Judd. We got Mr. Idiocracy. We're able to.
He's also in Spy Kids. He's in the second one.
Oh, he is? Mike Judd is? As a character?
Yeah, dude, he's like a big role in that.
Oh, I didn't
actually.
Know that.
He's
the Office Space guy. He's in Office Space. He plays the
Need more pieces of flair.
There you go, my boy Mike Judd. Yeah, but also Richard Linklater. He's man. We could do something about him. I just want to talk about the Texas guys. But
did you know he directed School of Rock?
No, I did not know that. I forget about that.
Yeah.
When I get people tell me that line and I forget it, but you're right. He did. He directed that. I think he was the one. He had problems on that movie. He did like Outlaws or something like that, or American Outlaws with Colin Farrell. Or no, is it?
No. It would have been the Baker Boys, I think.
Oh, the Baker Boys. Yeah.
Because they didn't. He was not a part of America. I love American Outlaws. By the way.
Okay.
But that was one of those movies that I saw that I was just like, dude, this is a badass movie. It just had like all of those. It just hit all of those like those cool quotes and stuff like that. It's like, you took my dog,
Yeah, I believe that Richard Linklater also went to Austin Community College, ACC. Remember Bats? Throw it up. Yeah, I think it was the Newton Boys. And I think this movie, Matthew McConaughey. It's got McConaughey. It's got.
Okay, yeah. What was the name of it?
The Newton Boys, 1998.
Newton Boys, that's what
I
it was.
think he had issues with this movie with production or something like that. He was having an issue because he didn't. I guess he had issues with Hollywood or something. I know there was issues with this movie, and that's what made him go do like his own thing, go back to just being independent. And I'm glad he did that. I'm glad he went independent to stay there. You didn't, you know, don't mess around, just keep going.
Hey, Skeet Ulrich is in that.
Yeah, repeat. We bring him up again. Repeat. Scanner Darkly.
Dude. Yeah, Boyhood, man. Have you seen that movie? Oh,
I have not seen that movie.
It is like you'll sit down, or you won't even sit down. You'll be like, I can put this movie on in the background, and it'll just like hook you in, dude. Like it really does. I mean, Ethan Hawke's in that movie. I think Patricia Arquette is too, and yeah, dude, it's like it's really good. Like it really captures like what's going on in the world.
Yeah, it was like 12 years to make or something like that. Or?
Yeah, because it started off whenever he was 6 and ended when he was 18, and so they would just film like 3 months out of the year every year, and get all this this material. He also had a spiritual sequel to Dazed and Confused, which is called Everybody Wants Some.
Oh yeah.
And dude, it's really good. It's a solid movie.
I need to watch it. The thing is, I know a few guys that were kind of they came on the cover of that, and they got real cocky with me, and I was just like, all right, well, cool. You know, but I was still nobody, so I'm like, I'm not gonna let them say that. I'm not gonna let that hold me down. But I was like, I was like, these guys are in it. I kind of want to watch it now, just see how they perform. But the trailer killed it for me on that one. Like I said, I'm here to give it a shot. I gotta give it a shot. It's see what he did.
Dude, it's a solid movie. Like for me personally, like I just thought it was a fun movie. I had no qualms about it whatsoever. Like it moves up to that next level. It goes to the college. You know, it follows like a freshman in college and his first day, and
cool.
You know, or first couple days. Well, leading up to his first couple days. But yeah, dude, it kind of made me feel like I was back at the beginning of my little college experience, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is pretty cool. Like he hit it on the nail.
I'll give it a shot. I mean, that's what we like our filmmakers, and we got Texas filmmakers, we got actors. I really like to give shout out to, and what we're talking about right now, Robert Rodriguez with The Faculty. I mean, this movie's just, to me, when we get to rating it, it's just going to be kind of buttered pretty easy. A lot of the Jordana Brewster, she came into big actress too with the Fast and Furious.
Mm-hmm.
Is her name Clea Duvall? Is the Stokely?
She's been in quite a few things. I couldn't honestly tell you what they were, but I know I've seen her face.
She was in I think like 10 Things I Hate About You. She would play like let's see. She was in some. She kind of got typecast for a little bit.
Yeah.
She was in Argo.
Is that she was in Argo?
Mm-hmm. I gotta go check it out again. I loved Argo. It was a good one.
I have not seen that.
That was a good one. No, she kind of got typecast a little bit. She's in Zodiac, where she came out like 3 movies where she kind of basically played that Stokely character.
Yeah.
She's All That. She played Misty. Yeah, because
that's what it was. Yeah. She's All That. Yeah.
Can't Hardly Wait. She's in there too.
Oh, dude, I love that movie too, man. Like all these, and those were all made around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
She must have been working pretty damn hard.
Yeah.
What it was is they just couldn't change her makeup.
I don't know. I think for the most part, she does
Dude, she almost looks like Famke Janssen now.
Yeah, almost.
Dude, wow, she's really good looking.
The Mary Beth character, I don't know what else she did. Laura Harris. Man, she's cute, dude, in this movie, man. As Mary Beth, like she really gets you with that small girl charm, and then even Zeke has that point where he has to tell like, why are you naked? See that part too, it messes with you because you don't realize that Stokely's infected us, the viewer, even Zeke. So Zeke, doesn't know what to do, and then she finds out, she gets him, but then here comes Casey, helps him out, locks her up. But like that part, like as watching it, you're like, oh wait, they're both infected. Like it throws you off. Like this movie is against, like it's against us. It's against the viewer. Like you can't really trust anybody. And man, I back then I never thought about connecting these movies. I never thought about connecting like this one with like Scream, and then how they also work with like kind of like Wes Craven's New Nightmare, because of Wes Craven Kevin Williamson worked on Scream together, and then Wes Craven New Nightmares was Craven's movie, and then this is another adaptation. I mean, I'm sorry, there's another like beauty of Kevin Williamson. So it's like I never thought how they're connected, but look how connected they are. They're so close.
You know what's one particular scene that I just thought was really kind of interesting, just how it was shot was, and it did kind of remind me of Scream a little bit too. Was whenever, oh gosh, Miss Olsen is like clarifying with Casey. She's like, "Do you understand? Do you understand?" And he's like trying to take a picture of the coach, and like on that third time, like whenever she was like, "Do you understand?" It like does that like 3 jump close up on her face. You know what I'm saying? It's like dun dun dun. You know, and it's like that's a strange place to put that, man. Like it just really was. Like it just kind of it threw me off for a second. I was like, interesting. Like this is where you want to, because it's almost like one of those jump scare kind of you know. And so I just wanted to bring that up too. I just thought that was an interesting little place to put that. And then of course you have Elijah Wood, man, who, you know, just a couple years after this movie in 2001 becomes Frodo Baggins.
I know, man.
And you know, so hell, the production on this, I mean, he had to have, right after this movie came out, he was probably, what is it, New Zealand where they filmed Lord of the Rings? So he was probably already over there whenever this movie was coming out. And damn, he must have been pretty young playing Frodo. I mean,
he's 1981, so he's 3 years older than me. Right now he's 39.
Wow, man. I would have thought he was older than that for some reason.
But no, he's been around, dude. My thing is he lives here in Austin. Apparently, I think he's been here for a minute.
Really?
Yeah, I think he lives here. I could be mistaken, you know. But
you know, I think I know his first film credit too. Do you Back to the Future Part 2?
Almost. It is that, but it was Paula Abdul, Forever Your Girl. It's a video. But it says uncredited, but it says here Video Game Boy. Yeah, he's in Back to the Future too. Yeah, I always say if I ever run into him in Austin, or I would like to make a movie with him. I got like a movie where
he was great in Sin City. Like
as a little he does a good little part. But I was gonna say with Elijah Woods, I was gonna say if I ever run into him and I get to talk to him and have a conversation with him, I'm like, oh, your movie Radio Flyer, that was my childhood. Did you ever see Radio Flyer?
Hey, I didn't. But CJ, I want you to know this. If you ever run into him, call him Elijah Wood.
Oh, keep saying Woods?
Yeah, it's not James. All right, dude.
You know what? There's like sorry, no joke. Right here in front of my monitor, because I did watch Vampires, John Carpenter's Vampires.
Mm-hmm.
I had it out, and I was looking at it. I saw at the bottom of the right corner, I have it open. It's James Woods. And I just looked at him, but I guess I started calling him Woods because of that. But what do you call it? I'll bring up Vampires real quick. James Woods plays a badass. It's of all people, I keep saying that he plays a badass with those blue jeans and those aviators. He's
interesting.
He does it. I don't know if have you seen Vampires? John Carpenter.
I haven't.
Oh man,
I really like James Woods in Hercules.
Oh yeah, he plays the villain. Yeah.
Yeah, he plays Hades really well.
I've seen a lot of James Wood stuff. He's also in like Any Given Sunday where he plays a doctor and he plays a really good like asshole doctor kind of guy. Yeah. But I was saying if I ever went into Elijah Wood, I'd be like, hey, your movie Radio Flyer, it was a remembrance of my childhood. Thank you. Like really, it's home. It's a hard movie, man.
The Good Son, dude. That one. Oh that
man, one got me. Macaulay Culkin. Mm-hmm. Like they turn Ken McAllister on you. You know, it's like. Yeah. Well, also I like the Kevin McAllister grows up to be Jigsaw. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are funny little.
A little short, yeah. Little but speaking of vampires,
we got.
What do you think about From Dusk Till Dawn, bro?
We're definitely gonna. Oh man, Dusk Till Dawn. So, man, this one, I don't even know where to begin with this one. I got 4 pages on this one.
Yeah, dude. The first note I have on it is best opening scene ever. Like
it's
oh
insane.
Man, it's just like you. Okay, so first off, that let's see here. IMDb. What is his
Just
name?
like I like that we also started off with Faculty because it's not a dark, it's a nice adventure roller coaster thrill ride, suspense. It's good. It's classic.
Yeah.
It's nice. Dust Till Dawn. Or I'm gonna just say right off the bat because this is one of my hometown movies. It's raunchy.
Yeah.
It's got a raunch in it. It's got filth, but it shows you the dark side of like just kind of horror, I guess, or like just shows you like just another way of it's creative, but it's very, 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 very
It's a lot of practical effects too, bro. Like
yes,
a lot of
a
them.
lot, and I love that.
And CGI is used very, very minimal.
Yes, and I think that's what you have to do. I think you have to do in shot and practical effects is the best. What's that? What's that grin? What'd you get?
So man, I was okay. So first off, I'll tell this in two parts. The Texas Ranger at the beginning, Earl McGraw. He is also in Kill Bill. He is also in Grindhouse. And what was the other one that he was in? And he plays Earl McGraw in all of these. So he is a Texas Ranger in all these Tarantino movies after and this was the first one that he was in. But he plays this character in
his name the actor's name is Michael Parks.
Yes, sorry, excuse me.
Sorry, sadly he passed away in 2017. So thank you for your contribution. 77 years old, but he was in he was also in Tusk. Wow.
And
Planetary.
He was also in Dust Till Dawn 3.
He plays the same exact character.
He doesn't play the same exact character. It's like, so I was looking it up earlier. Robert Patrick is actually in From Dust Till Dawn 2. Yeah. And the third one is set in like the early 1900s. And he plays like a writer or something like that. But they're, like I said, they're going to this brothel and everything like that.
Yeah, this movie. So, like I said, this is another one. Like Robert Rodriguez, he made a lot of movies in my hometown. So I got to kind of see that. Man, I just want to say this was harder for me to watch this time around. Kind of just knowing a little bit of the foreshadowing. There was a scene in the movie that really fucking hurt. Sorry to cuss. I was like, ugh. Like, let's talk about the Gecko brothers real quick.
Yeah,
these are the main characters of the movie.
They're so. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, man. No, I kind of put down. I said, is this like a modern day retelling of a Mice and Men? You know, like you have oh shit, I don't even remember his name, but looking Richie? Over Lenny. Well, yeah, like Richie is Lenny, and then
Mice and Men.
Yeah, and then Seth is like the I can't remember, but you know, like he's taking care of him, like he's looking over him, and it's just not even a modern day, but like a really screwed up version of the Mice and Men, and then vampires come out at the end. But that's one thing it kind of reminded me of, man, like because he's just like he's not there, like he just has. I mean, I don't know whether it's just like impulse control or what.
Well, it shows you inside his sickness, because even when the Kate played by Juliette Lewis, he tells her, "Do you want to eat my?" And then when they're in the car, when they're riding in the back, he asks her like, "Do you want me to, I could do that?" And she's like, "What do you mean?" Like he's like he thought that he's crazy, he's legitimately crazy. So these guys, I mean, basically what happens is.
George.
Seth is what's up?
His name is George and Lenny.
Oh, George Lenny. Right.
You know, yeah. Sorry.
Which way did he go, George? Which way did he go?
Yeah, George Clooney.
George Clooney is playing Seth Greco, which he knocks out of the park with this character, man.
Dude, yes.
He's a badass, but he is not your hero. He's selfish. He's crazy. I think, like, I mean, the more I start to I really like this Seth Gecko character a lot. You find out he has this love for his brother Richie, who has like this, I don't know, mental illness, or he has something wrong with him. And man, by the way, Tarantino acting, he's just acting in this. He wrote it, but man, he does a good job about this character that he wrote these characters in. And Tarantino, this is where I really got like where his acting and his writing. This character, I don't know, maybe I feel sometimes that's how he really feels. Just kind of like the aggression, all that. the little boy thing inside the trapped in the little boy, a man in a little boy's body, or yeah, a little boy in a man's body. Like even after the sickness of like he tells it, he was saying like that's the one thing about that opening scene. The actor, what's his name? Hawk. What's his name? I just had it right here. The guy in the sorry, 1 second. Where is he at? The actor that George Clooney.
Pete.
Yeah, Pete. John Hawkes. He does a great job, man. He's super believable that he's not like getting freaking shot and not getting held up, you know?
Yeah.
And it does. It's kind of crazy because that cop comes, the deputy comes back, sheriff comes back, and Richie just shoots him. Like it's just like at that point, he just shoots him. And Seth gets mad at him, but not like when Richie like acts like nothing. Like when he kills that girl, that teller, he acts like it's nothing. Like it's like he's that messed up. And then like Seth, I honestly feel that like Seth feels that he let Richie down.
Yeah.
And I think it's the one thing you find out about Seth in this movie is that he's got control. He's got control issues. Man, George Clooney really plays a badass anti-hero in this movie. Yeah. I don't know how to describe George Clooney in this movie because it's like it's him. Mm-hmm. It's like I don't know how he got the role. I don't know if they wrote it for him or if he auditioned, but I think he was trying to get away from the ER like friendly guy. Yeah. And he went this route, and man, he this is his character, man. He owns his character. I don't know about if they. And I know they made. And this is one thing about Dusk Till Dawn. It has spun off like the series and like a Netflix. And I think maybe they. I was on a few sets. I was an extra a few days on that show, but I was kind of like, I was mostly just hanging out there with other extras. I didn't really come out in it. It was just like a few scenes that they had like a banquet or something. With the way like 8 hours. I was like, whatever. But I mean, I'm just saying I already had done enough of that where I was like, all right, I gotta move on a little bit from the extra work. I gotta do more work. That's how I was at that time. But when I was on that, I think they might have had like a Seth. I think one of the characters might be Seth in there. But the way he owns his character and the way you see the anger, the way he just talks about everything, like he can't like even the guy even the vampire that touches him, like he's staring Danny Trejo in the face and those and they're like he's not even scared. Like he's not scared of the vampires as they're humans. He's not scared of the vampires when they're vampires. He's not scared of shit. The one thing he loves is his brother and he lets him down. And the lines he says, Richie, I am sorry that I could not bring you. Or wait, I wrote it down. Let's see. Right before he kills his brother, like he has to kill his brother twice.
I mean, I couldn't. Yeah.
The peace I couldn't give you in life, I hope you find in death. And that's deep, man. And he's having a hard time like functioning. He has mental health problems too. He's having issues too. And so he has to try to figure out. Like I think his control never let Richie grow up. I think he messed Richie up. I don't think we see Richie like you're like, oh, that guy's like a piece of shit and he's like killing people and for no that kills that and I think maybe like does whatever with her, but it's like you don't feel bad for him when he dies, but no. I felt bad for him when I realized that Seth was kind of controlling him the whole time. And I wish you would have seen a little bit of Richie kill a little bit more vampires before he dies, but he just dies. But he's the first one to turn into a vampire when they have to kill him. But when they're in the RV in the Winnebago and he knocks him out, hits him like that, like that's like, and he pops his neck like it's. I mean, my brother and I used to kind of get into it like that. So you really feel that like you're like, God, just when you're fighting with a sibling or a family member, I mean,
especially when your life's on the line, man.
Yeah.
Like, just doesn't know when to shut up.
But even how he puts Kate, Richie pushes Kate real hard. Like when he pushes her like that, I'm like, damn, dude, like that's he and it's like a brother. Like I've seen, I mean, I got my cousins that are brothers and they fight and that's how it is. And I see them do that. I don't fight my brother. We just argue. No. But like they get intense. And when he hits him, it's like he's the older brother too. So he's like, he takes control and he takes charge. And then there's the lovable Cheech Marin. He comes out not once, not twice, but 3 times. And here at Side by Side, we really appreciate our multiple actors that play multiple characters in the same movie. I give it out to Cheech for doing the 3 cameos. Who's he play? He plays the customs agent. He plays the little bouncer guy, and then he plays Carlos at the end. So
yeah, the bouncer guy's name is Pussy Chet.
There you go.
So that makes sense.
Yes, that's what he likes.
If you can find it for any cheaper,
Yeah. Well, I like, but he's just so slapstick. He's so slapstick. You know, he's like, you know what they say about me? I suck. Like he's a vampire.
Yeah.
um, I mean, they have Danny Trejo as one. I believe is Robert Rodriguez's uncle. He's in this movie Machete.
Really?
Yeah, I think yeah. I think yeah. I mean, Danny Trejo, I love his story. I love how he turned everything around. But the Machete movies, they're a little ridiculous, but they are Austin-based movies. I'm gonna rewatch those myself and see how they come out.
Oh, if Robert De Niro decided he was going to be in it.
Which one?
I mean,
Oh,
I think he was in Machete. Yeah.
Yeah, because he plays. I
Has to
think
be
Vince
something
Vaughn's
there.
dad. I think
Yeah.
he's actor something. I haven't seen him. I only saw him
I'm
once.
pretty sure it's Robert De Niro. I could be wrong.
I thought. Yeah. I got that. Also, I like Fred Williamson's character Frost. Like, I like Tom Savini's in it. Tom Savini.
Yeah.
So I gotta apologize real quick to Tom Savini. I met him last year at Texas Frightmare, and we talked a little bit. He did correct me a couple times. I was cool with that, but like correct me in a good way, not in a bad way. Like I was like, I like that. Like, thank you, because like I like getting better. But he goes, which picture of mine do you want? And he had like the Jasons and all his prop stuff. But I picked Sex Machine.
Mhm.
And to my defense, and just to Tom Savini, I picked Sex Machine because I'm from the border. This was Moosh, kind of shot, and I could show people Sex Machine, and they get it. It would be a little bit harder for me to get Tom Savini. So next time, he does still do a lot of the horror cons. So when I meet him again, I will explain that to him for briefly, see how short I can do it, my elevator pitch for him. But I plan to talk to him about more of his prosthetics and how he really applies a lot of the he's won awards, man. I mean, he did the Friday the 13th 4 and he went all out, and that was just like great. I want to say, did he do? I don't know if it was him or Stan Winston. I want to say, did he see? He goes, yeah, he did Dawn of the Dead. There you go, Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
He did Friday the 13th. Wait, is this actor or is this what am I under? No, I'm not an actor. I want to put on as effects. Sorry, special effects or makeup department. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, right here, Dawn of the Dead. Friday the 13th, Final Chapter, Creepshow 2, Tales from the Dark Side. I mean, he has a lot of this stuff under his belt, and I want to kind of ask him a little bit more about how he came through it. I mean, I think he has like a school or something. He's in Grindhouse too. he's one of the guys in the Robert Rodriguez's crew. But I like that he was in it. His character was kind of showing you the transformation of a vampire, how quick it was. So it leads me to believe that they got to what's up.
I just really liked how he changed, man. It was almost like a cartoon. Like he was just like, he felt his fangs. He was like, and then you see his hands. He's like,
well, Robert Rodriguez is an animator, so maybe that's the thing. I did like when Fred Williams was telling that. So that's a cool thing that I wrote down here, that those badasses, all those guys at the trucks, they were confused for a minute because they're like, what's going on? But they quickly realized that they're vampires. And as we said, the faculty, they use movies to describe how they kill their vampires. Even Savini says silver bullets, and then he goes, I don't know, silver does something. And then, Kay goes, does anybody have silver? No. Then why even bother? So, yeah. But they picked it up like that, and then the story that Frost is saying. Right before, I mean, that's even funny. The bite that Tom Savini does, he does it on his, he does a little hand, like a little, I don't know. It's kind of funny. Even with Frost, he's telling that story about him and Nam and how he's killing people when he's throwing them left and right. But then we see him he just did that with the table.
Yeah.
He put those girls on the table. And I'm the only continuity error I'm looking at is Richie stabs Danny Trejo's character in the heart with the knife. If it was his heart, he's a vampire, wouldn't that kill him? Or no, he missed, or just...
I don't know, man. The only thing I saw from, so maybe it was because it was a knife, because it wasn't until they used like the wooden stake.
Yeah.
They use the wood and then it goes to the heart, and then that kills him for some odd reason. But one thing I noticed was like right after he gets done stabbing Danny Trejo, you see the knife and you see the green blood on there. And then you're just like, yeah. I think Seth sees it.
I saw that. I just didn't know it was the green blood. I thought the knife was just green. I thought it was old knife, but it's the green blood. Yeah.
Yeah, because whenever everybody explodes, like it's green blood. And that was another thing too, like a lot of these like vampire references, or a lot of things that happen to these vampires are like not your normal vampire kind of like trope. Like whenever Sex Machine gets his head taken off, like he turns into a rat, a vampire rat or something.
No,
What do you got?
I got a thing with that. So first he does a little foreshadowing, which is the skin is so punchy, like you can rip their head off real fast. So
Yeah.
he as happens to him, but they keep talking about servants, like even Salma Hayek, which is in both movies. She plays the nurse and
Oh
faculty,
yeah, dude.
but she's part of the crew, so I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
But even she says that she's on top of Seth, and she's telling him how she's going to be a peasant. They bring about these dogs. They talk about the being a servant of the dog. So I think he's a servant of like of the dog of a peasant or of the devil or the hell or whatever, but of them. And I think that's what he turns into. That kind of like a dog, kind of the, I mean, rodent. I don't. It may be a big bat. I mean, they kill it real easy. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's
But I just thought it was interesting, man. It was like nothing of like your normal vampire, like just biting the neck and then you turn, like slowly turn. Like these are all pretty rapid. Like, and I was wondering too because like I didn't know if like there was in the Mexican culture if there was a vampire that did that or they had something like that. And I was
mm,
like, well, maybe it was just something I didn't hear of. I looked something up, and God knows, I couldn't pronounce it, man.
well,
But
I like it when Seth looks at Richie. Hey, well, or he goes, well, no. Kate goes, "What are you doing in Mexico? Where are you going? Mexico. What are you doing there? There's Mexicans.
yeah, or what's there? Yeah.
Mexicans, yeah.
All right.
Or
Yeah. If you get a chance, man, look up Mexican vampire and see if you can pronounce that.
Mexican
It's like the
vampire.
yeah, it's like the second or it's the first
Let's see.
option on there.
Let's
I looked it up earlier. It
see.
didn't seem like
Tahulpuchi. Tahulepuchi.
yeah.
Tahulepuchi. That the right word right there? Mexican vampire.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Belief in the bloodsucker. Talhulebuchi. I think it's an I at the end, yeah. Is prominent in the Mexican state of Talajico. I'm sorry, I'm tired, but yeah, my Spanish sucks. I'll read a little bit better. With deep
You're
roots
doing
of,
better than me, buddy.
I'm like I can't even see it. My contacts are all dried. But I don't know. It's just some kind of I guess yeah. It's
I mean,
Mexican.
it could possibly be a little bit of inspiration because let's see, able to shapeshift, which you see that happen. You know, they
Sorry.
first learn of what they are sometime around puberty, so you're at the titty twister. So, maybe not. I don't know.
No, I mean that could be. I mean there could be a lot of see where we're going.
Oh, and also, most of them are female,
Yeah,
so it's a strip club.
yeah.
Um,
I mean well, I was saying the hard part for me was so we talk about the family. Harvey Keitel,
yeah,
great actor, one of my favorite actors, man. Um, when he was younger too, he's from the Martin Scorsese crew. He plays a tough guy. He break your brain, he break your bones, break your face in. He was in Reservoir Dogs. He was in Tarantino's first movie. He's actually, there's a story out there. I gotta find it. I'll see if I can link it. But it's where Tarantino talks about how he met Harvey Keitel, and Harvey Keitel was the one who got him the money for got him more money for Reservoir Dogs, and and I think it was like something like Tarantino was at a party, like chauffeuring cars, and um, he ended up seeing Harvey Keitel, and he went up to him to go talk to him, and he told him the story. And Harvey Keitel said, "If you have the script on you," and he said, "No." He goes, "You can get me that script. I'm gonna leave this party in 30 minutes. If you can get it here in the next 30 minutes, I'll read it." And so, so I think Tarantino took a car and drove. So somebody's he's chauffeuring. He was valeting cars. He took somebody's car, got the script. I think I remember that. And he handed him the script with like right on the 30-minute mark, and Keitel read it, but. And that's what it was. But man, Harvey Keitel is one of my favorite. Just like badasses, like he's in Bad Lieutenant. He's also like I don't want to ruin. It's not a Bronx Tale. He's not in a Bronx? No, he's not in Bronx Tale. He's just one of one of those old school New Yorker guys. But what is Scorsese's Mean Streets?
mm,
Dude, that's a good movie, man. That one, that's another one. That's another that's De Niro when he's like he plays like this crazy, like just like a Richie guy, but not that insane. Um, yeah. Sorry, I'm losing myself. No, I think it's just like that movie with Harvey Keitel. He does a great job as just showing off just his range, and in this one, man, he plays like a pastor doesn't preach anymore. He's I guess a man lost his faith, and it even takes Seth to give him a speech to really like motivate him. Seth's speech,
Yeah.
like right, like to get him to bless the water. Man, I love it when Seth says, "I don't care about living or dying anymore. I just want to see how many I can send back to hell. Like these devils I can send back to hell." Like at that point, he's like, "I already lost my brother, so I don't care. Or it's a bad night." Um, man,
Yeah. Just a bad night.
it was a bad night. Yeah,
Sorry.
there's so much we can talk about with just these movies. I feel like I'm not doing this right. I'm just kind of like all over the place. But that with the family with Scotty, the brother, um, Ernest Liu. That's all you. I don't know if he's done anything else, but I fell more for this character more than anybody, and I really got pissed off when Richie puts the gun in his mouth. That's hard for me, man, to see your son like that. Like, God, I could, and that's why I'm giving some advice. Some just don't answer the door. Don't
Yeah.
anybody knocks on your front door. Don't ever answer. There's no reason for you to answer the front door. Even if
That
someone,
people look through it.
yeah, just
No.
don't. I mean, he has, and then Richie really sells it because Richie's a little boy and he sells it. Hey, I'm a guy from 11, and he can play his little boy guy, and he does enough for him. And I mean, Scotty is just playing the guitar, and he gets fooled like that, and. Ah man, that I feel bad at the very end of the movie with Juliette Lewis when, I mean, this is it's such a in a way layered movie because she wants to go with Seth and he says no, he gives the money. So what was the point of her, man? She lost her brother and her dad, and all she got was money. And then you think that they're gonna go off and be vampire slayers, and not even that. He's like, nah, I'm going with my Mexican friends. You go your way. He goes, what is he? I'm a son of a bitch, but I'm not that son of a bitch, or something like that. And then so they basically, for them going, I mean, there's a lot of signs telling them no. I don't know if you caught that. Did you see that there's so many things that they're like, even I didn't even think about this when Scotty's telling, I never noticed this in the movie. I've seen this movie 100 times. I was like, whoa, Scotty's telling Jacob, his father, like, there's reality shows, use movies references. There's reality shows. They never get out of this. He's like, he's telling him I'm gonna die. Like we're gonna die, and they both die except Kate. But he's giving him, he's there telling him, Dad, no. Like it's like, what, man? What do I do? What would you do in a situation where, like, that's hard? What would you do if you can't think, man? Like you got to be. And he's and Jacob's character played by Harvey Keitel, he's in the moment. He's strong. He has to be strong for. It's just crazy. Like, and I did notice that because he does die with gets bit, but that one bite by Sex Machine, he got bit. He bit Frost. So that's one bite still. That bite went to, then he bit Jacob, and Jacob bit Scotty. So just the one, infected four that fast.
Yeah.
And
another thing too is like even the vampires are trying to make sure that or not make sure, but they're like, they aren't willing to let them in if they're not bikers or truckers. So, I thought that was interesting too, because even Danny Trejo was like, he lets an RV slide. He's like, I mean, if you want to stay that bad, then fine, stay here.
Dude, the chief partner, the pussycat guy, he tries to tell him no. Like there's so many signs. There's so many when they get to the customs. When I mean, even before that, they're like Jacob. Both times they tell him, the kids say they don't want to sleep in the hotel, and he wants to stay. If they never slept at the hotel, they don't have an issue. They have an RV. That's how. Why get an RV and stay at a hotel? That defeats the purpose of cross country driving. And also, this shows you kind of like that New Mexico, Texas, West Texas feel, man. It's like El Paso, like that. Man, that part. I've driven to California like 10 times, and back and forth. It's really nothing out there, and it's scary, like getting out there. But you see a lot of that desert feel to it there in this movie, and it's. What I'm trying to say is when you see Seth, he gets excited when they cross into Mexico. But even at that, that's still like, this movie goes a whole hour before you even see the vampires.
No.
All these, there's like before you see, it's actually an hour before you even see Salma Hayek, and that's even an accident because the murders, Seth and they kill each other, they kill all those people, and then you see he has the wound to his hand and it bleeds, and she can't hold herself, so she has to eat it, And then even that's like even Seth's not even prepared for that because his gun's not even loaded. So he has to load the gun and he's got to do that little because he can't just shoot a gun. He's got to do the he's got to round it like that. But man, I think for just this movie going from it's two movies. It's definitely two movies. This first movie is like this hostage takeover situation, which is very hard to watch for me now with a family and like it's as a kid and watching it like being single, you don't care. Now you're like, oh no, I got some dependence and stuff. So it really to me it hit me harder. It was harder to watch. I think I still like this movie a lot, but I think it's supposed to do that to me. I can't hate. I'm not supposed to hate it. I'm supposed to be that there isn't a real reality there because I really have. This is not a happy ending, and I like that. There's no happy ending in this movie. There's no reason for them to be there, for Kate, Scotty, and Jacob to be there. The geckos are messed up. I don't know if they're system people or Seth ruined Richie. I don't understand how he got. We don't know how he got there, but they kill. I mean, they even have it, dude. These are just murderers. These are not good guys. They killed 16 people just trying to get free, and they're sloppy, man. They're super sloppy. Yeah, I hear in the piece and death. Okay, yeah, they're very sloppy. These guys, they're just kind of like they're all over the place, and they're just trying to. They're not professionals. Like I mean, that's what he says. I'm a professional thief, but that's I guess it makes sense. He's not. That's why he kills everybody because he's not good at. He's not. He's only stealing. I guess a murderer. But man, the way they just kill everybody, and now that you see like the mental issues that they have, then it makes me a little bit more. Gives me a little bit more crunch to my bite because they have problems, and this is like this is extreme crazy, like No Country for Old Men. When Sue Ellen dies, you're like, what? It just ends like that. That's the ending. There's some, and then there's some loose ends in that one. That movie cracked me up. I got my family folk in. I got family all over the place, but my West Texas cousin called me one time, and he went to go watch Old Country for No Men, and I already saw it. And he called me. He goes, "Hey man, that movie says isn't Del Rio. We grew up there. That ain't Del Rio. That movie ain't got that. You got telling people in Hollywood that they're full of shit." I was like, "What?" I'm from that. I go, "Dude, it's a movie." Oh, okay, hold on. No, you're right. I will get right on it. I'll write him a letter. All right. It's like coming to tell me that when you make a movie, you call it the city. It's got to look like the city. You can't. That city's made up. Like it's from the. It's Del Rio is like of the river, so it's easy to say. It's just a saying actually, but that. So there's a lot. You could have a lot of cities with that name, but. I thought that was funny with No Country for Old Men, so that's just a little side note. But even like that movie, when that movie ends, like you're kind of left with like I don't know if I'm happy or I'm sad or it ends, and this is how this movie ends. Like, dude, you really don't have like anything to say. Like I'm like it's just like a bad joyride. It's like if you got on a roller coaster and the buckle busted and you're holding yourself upside down the whole time and you had to. You had to like the roller coaster finally went down. You're like, that was uncalled for. I should just never got on the roller coaster. Like maybe my stomach was hurting. I shouldn't have got on it. Like there's a lot of things. Like there's a lot of warning signs here. Then finally they force themselves in, and this is what they get.
Yeah.
Two out of three die, and that's when the family, and then one for the brothers. But man, they're really messed up guys, man. Like the way they are, they're just kind of crazy. They're his tattoo's pretty badass at the end. George Clooney, he's got that money and he's got that Porsche, and he's kind of like, I think that's what people would want. I think that's what I would want it too, was for them to be vampire slayers. But nah, it's just regular. They just screwed her out. Yeah, Border Guard, Chet Pussy, and Carlos.
Yeah, well, and I thought the way that it ended too, like you see all those trucks and you see that it's like on an Aztec temple or some kind of temple, like I thought that was really kind of cool.
Oh, the map painting at the end where you see all the graveyard. Yeah, that's cool, man.
And then you see like it's like there's something way deeper underneath all that stuff. Like it may be the titty twister on top, but there's those vampires aren't done, man. Like they're gonna be coming back the next night and they're gonna get all the truckers and soon. I guess it did get pretty messed up.
I mean, it's creative. This movie is it's very creative. Where the scene where they're in the beginning, the fight scene where Seth tells Richie, "Hey, on when I tell you shoot the bottles behind that guy,
Mhm.
and he lights that toilet paper roll on fire with lighter fluid. Like that's creative, and that's another thing. They're walking out all calm, and Richie and Seth is getting mad at. He's telling Richie to be calm, and the whole thing's blowing up in the background. I thought that was a cool shot. There's a lot of great shots in this movie.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of cool like. Let's see. I mean, there's a lot of cool things about this. I did want to share something since I've been tying this movie to like like my childhood. My cousin and I we kind of call each other characters, and from Robert Rodriguez movies. And I guess I only got one character that always will stay in Desperado. But since that movie's so close to us, I auditioned for the role and I didn't get it. I was too tall. Antonio, I wasn't really that good of an actor though. But we did a movie called Streets of Laredo, and there's a kid from San Angelo. I think it was San Angelo. He was there, and he was the kid that got the part in Desperado. But I was like, I got to hang out with him for a day or two, and I thought that was cool. That ties it. But what was I gonna say? There's a character in Dusk Till Dawn, the very end, the henchmen, two of the henchmen, which they were in Desperado. One of them is called Christos, and his name is that's his actual name on IMDb, just Christos. But in the movies, he goes by Christos too. So my cousin, there's a scene in Desperado where there's a guy auditioning trying out. He's a brother of family trying out join the gang, and he's got have you seen Desperado?
It's been a while.
So the guy that gets his leg broken in the fight scene, there's a guy called Christos that breaks it, and that's my cousin's name, and I'm the other guy, Pipon. They're just two dumb names in the movie, but I always like just sharing that story because we watch these movies a lot. But Dusk Till Dawn, I didn't realize how dark it really is, man. I didn't realize how now that I'm a little bit more sensitive about stuff but it's a great thrill, man. Dude, Tarantino, man, the screenplay, and it was written by, it says story is by Robert Kurtzman, and what else has he done? Wishmaster. He did the makeup department for The Haunting and Doctor Sleep. Wow, yeah, he stayed busy. It's cool. What's this here? He is known for Dusk Till Dawn, Wishmaster, and The Haunting in the House. Yeah, he's been busy. That's cool. Still doing stuff. What was I gonna say about? Well, I don't want to leave anybody out of this movie because there is also a shout out to unfortunately passed recently. My John Saxton is in a.
Yeah.
He has a small role as the FBI agent on the TV.
Mm-hmm. Apparently that was Kelly Preston who was interviewing him.
Yeah, it's right here. Yeah,
I didn't even recognize her one bit.
I also like the way that Seth goes to the hotel and the guy goes, "What the hell do you want? I want effing room." He goes, well, okay. Yeah. Like you gotta talk to people.
Whenever you were asking me what I was laughing about, I saw him Old Timer Hope Motel owner, and I thought of that scene. That's why I was laughing.
Yeah, like that's like where I think with that, that's how you gotta talk to people sometimes. You gotta talk their language. Mm-hmm. George Clooney, Quentin Tarantino he does a good job. I mean, he wrote the screenplay, but he does the way he wrote Richie. Like there's a lot of layers to that. Salma Hayek, beautiful in this movie as well. Does a good job. She only has 2 little cameos in both these movies, but she's still in them. So I guess we're. What was that? I just want to make sure. There's some people. These are like Austin guys, so I want to make sure we get some recognition. But I don't know anybody else. I say let's go to the ratings because. Let's see, because IMDb gives from Dusk Till Dawn, it gives it a 7.2 out of 10 out of 283,239 reviews. And then The Faculty, wow, come on, really? 6.5 out of 10 out of 109,727. That's kind of oof. So let's see what you got for Rotten Tomato on the.
So for Rotten Tomatoes for Dusk Till Dawn, I have 62% on the critics. Audience score gave it a 76%. And then let's see here. I have the other one pulled up, I guess. Let's see here. For Faculty.
They call this a B movie. I don't know if this is a B movie.
I think they only call it that just because of the effects. I think, and I mean, to be fair, like Clooney really hadn't hit his real big strides yet as far as like films go. He was like mostly a TV.
Yeah. Now this
really well, okay. So The Faculty, Critics gave it a 52, and audiences gave it a 55.
Close, and that's man. I don't rip off of other sci-fi thrillers. Who? Come on. I mean, what Invasion of Body Snatchers? Is that what they're saying?
Probably. Well, I mean, it's almost like Scream for like sci-fi, thrillers. Like
I mean,
it's almost
the pattern is kind of the same, but it's not really. I mean, there's. I guess. I mean, the killers in front of your face, the monsters in front of your face. That's one thing I caught on, but outside of that, that doesn't bother me. I mean, I had to catch on to it way years after the fact, so it was at the time it did its job. Oh man,
and you got to think too. A lot of teen movies aren't going to get a lot of praise.
No.
I mean, to be fair, and I think a lot of the teen movies too. It helps if you grow up in that era that you really like it. If you because they tend to capture like what's going on in high school, like American Pie and all that stuff. I mean, it all came out around that time. Like it was 10 Things I Hate About You. I mean, all these movies were converging all at the same time, dude. And yeah, man, it's I think a lot can kind of get lost in there, when you have a bunch of stuff like that. I mean, because those other two that I mentioned, I mean, they may have higher scores, but I mean, they're definitely not better movies by any mean. I mean, it's still the same kind of.
I mean, when you
get what I'm saying?
When you get into sci-fi, like with both these movies, when you really just like sink your teeth into them, they're good sci-fi movies. I mean, this one is a good horror movie. It's you gotta understand. It's very grotesque. It is. I mean, the band plays with body parts, like, and it shows the body parts, like they're showing you.
I thought that was.
Even that guy's in Desperado too. I forget his name, but I mean, they even show you like it's gotta. You gotta get through that. You gotta grind through that first part, though, man. It's literally like it's like a bomb. This is a fuse. It's lit. It's just getting, but the fuse is getting thicker and thicker and crazier, and it finally gets to the bomb, and boom, vampires. And you gotta survive. It's like survive the night. Man, Dusk Till Dawn. It's got high scores, but I don't understand why the faculty is so low on it. 50, like.
I think it was just time, dude. Like I really think it was just timing. It wasn't necessarily because, like you said, you have good performances from everybody, and like I said, those other two movies that I mentioned, I mean, they both got over 60%. 10 Things I Hate About You and American Pie. I mean, the only difference is this is like a sci-fi. I mean, hell, what was it? Like I said, Scream came out 2 years before this.
No, yeah, 96.
Right? Yeah, 96. So I mean,
I keep thinking it's when it came out 96. Sorry.
I don't. Whenever it says it's like that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Because what movies is it trying to be like? Yeah. Like what is it ripping off? I think it's a fairly original movie in the fact that you have somebody right there in front of your face the whole time. The only thing I can get at would be like rip off other sci-fi thrillers.
I mean, I think I'm as I'm watching this, I guess the vibe maybe, but this doesn't remind this. I mean, it's a high school movie. Scream's a high school movie. I don't know. They don't. I love Faculty, man. Overall, it's a sci-fi. I mean, even right here, I have the movie in the background, and it's Zeke and Casey are in the car. It's like, all right, the car doesn't seem that far. He goes, yeah. Oh, your car keeps far away. He goes, yeah. We're gonna need to give him a decoy. Like he throws him under the bus, but like he sees it. He knows that like he's actually fast, and that's his. I mean, I'm happy that Casey didn't join the football team. It was Zeke, because he was like fast, but he decided to go for bigger aspirations. But just kind of, I guess you're right. The times. This is showing us. This is like it has a class of '99. This is right before the millennium. This movie does have hit me with a lot of nostalgia. The Faculty. I've been in Austin for a long time, and like I said, walking through those halls, it made me feel a little bit better. Like, oh, cool. I'm kind of seeing what we're kind of still being part of this. That school's shut down right now. I don't know if they're gonna open it again. So it's like I'm happy while it was open. I got to kind of do my thing. I mean, it was open for a long time though. the I don't even know what to say. I like George Clooney's performance, man.
Oh yeah.
The Gecko brothers, they're crazy. They're I don't wouldn't even want them on my team. Like I just be like, I just would like to hear about them. Would never like want to
Hmm.
meet them, but it's deeper. Uh, it's not like a cringy in your face. It's just raunchy, but it's a good story. Well, what do you wanna rate these guys?
Yeah. So I'll go first on the faculty because, like you said, you have your own deal. I would give the faculty an 8. I'm going to give it an 8. Um, it's a great movie. It happens fast. It picks up quick. I like that. It doesn't because I feel like if it did the same approach as like From Dusk Till Dawn, where it waited so long to get to the actual, the vampires and everything, it just wouldn't have the same effect. Um, but it's a solid movie, dude. It really is. Like I said, it brought up a little bit of nostalgia for me. Like I said, oh God, I was 8 years old when this movie came out, dude. So like it was, it had been like a year or so after. I was probably like 8 or 9 whenever I watched it. And like I said, one of the few horror movies that like you said, not even horror movies, like a sci-fi thrillers that I saw that I was like, okay, I could watch this. Like I could get on board with scary movies. Um, but yeah, man, it's a solid 8. Like I would tell people okay, I would have people like teenagers watch this movie as like a good, solid, like Friday night, what are we gonna do kind of movie,
Friday Night Flicks would be
Like
great.
yeah, like a good, almost a good Netflix and chill kind of movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it really would be. Like
Yeah, I think
I
this might be
think,
like a Netflix or chill for me. I was like, we're gonna
yeah,
watch the movie. We're gonna chill. I can't do both of those.
but I think it's like I said, I think it's a solid movie. I'm just not giving it a higher score just because I don't know, man. Like I said, it's a certain audience that I think it's really hitting towards. And then, like you said, if you did watch it whenever you were growing up, I mean, it's going to hit that nostalgia factor for you.
Mhm.
Um, what do you got? What do you got for
I
it?
was gonna see if you can do me a favor. Could you do Dust Till Dawn? Can you rate it?
Yeah, I'm gonna give that one a 9.
All right,
Uh,
went up a little more. Cool.
yeah, oh yeah, it's that movie, dude. Like Tarantino's writing really comes out in this movie. You feel like it's a Tarantino movie. You know, you really do kind of feel that way just from the slow burn,
Yeah.
because that's I feel like that's his kind of like signature. Um, but like you said, it's really gory. It would be a movie that, I mean, you would really have to kind of know the person to
Yeah.
be like, hey, if they don't like a lot of gore, be like, maybe not watch this one.
Yeah.
Uh, but dude, just like I said, that opening scene is fantastic. Like you just have them bickering while the building's exploding around them and stuff like that. It's yeah, dude, that one's a solid movie too. Um, yeah, I would recommend this movie to anybody who enjoys that kind of violence, and even not, dude. Like the effects are so practical that even somebody who didn't necessarily like all the gore, I think could find maybe like I know you said it's a dark movie, but I think it's getting to the point where people are just like, oh, that looks like a almost a B movie, like they
Yeah.
said, like you know what I'm saying, like it almost has that like made in the '70s kind of feel, like you have with more of the uh, I don't know, clear aspects to it. Like you actually see the vampires are very detailed and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but the way they explode is just like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
like that's what I'm getting at. Like they're in that sense, the effects are really cool for the time, but they're also they're not trying to. to overdo it with like trying to be on the cutting edge.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, a solid 9. Almost, I would say almost a 10
Oh, you really like
on
Dustle
there.
Dawn?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's like you said, it hits on those senses, dude. Like it makes you kind of challenge your morality, or the morality of the people that are in the movie. I mean, you have a priest that's lost his way, and then uh, he comes back around because some criminal, you know,
Yeah,
it
murderer.
gets through to him. You know, like somebody, and you know, honestly, if you're a good God fearing Christian, those are the people you want to help, and it's kind of strange that it's on the other foot. You know, that he's kind of helping him.
Yeah,
Uh, you know, that kind of thing.
because he needs him.
Yeah, yeah, and that's another thing too is like they realize that there's a common enemy and they go for that. They're not trying to bicker and fight between one another. And even after he gets bitten, you know, he still lets him in the room, which is honestly a little surprising.
Yeah, I was
You,
thinking I thought they would fight him, but he's like, no, we don't have time. When I liked it. This that shotgun bat combination. We need to bring that thing back, man. That was kind of cool.
yeah.
Like that was just a novelty of just having a cross and it works. Like that's how simple it is. And I don't know, they seem kind of easy to defeat. I mean, they have their strength, but they're super strong, but yet they have mushy skin. The science behind it makes no sense. Not playing, it's just I'm just being stupid. But like um, I guess I'll go. I'll tell you this real quick. It, the release date for Dust Till Dawn was January 17th, 1996. It's 108 minutes long, and its budget was 19 million, and its box office was almost 60 million. It was 59.3. So
Jesus.
it did okay. It did, I think I mean for it did all right for for what it's worth. This is a hardcore movie. This is kind of some cringe scenes. And then the Faculty was released, and I did see this on Christmas Day because I remember when I walked out of this movie. It was December 25th, 1998, and it's 104 minutes long, and it was budget 15 million. At first, I guess it was 40 million point three. It made in U.S. and then it made 63.2 in worldwide. So this is more of an overseas movie. Got
Yeah.
a little bit more recognition there. 23 million more. Well, I did want to say that because I have no other way what to say this. Everyone are you already know how I am. I'm gonna do the nostalgia. Would be just keep hitting. It's just I mean I'm just riding the road that we're going on. I'm not. We're not paving anything different. I didn't see two of Jordan Peele's masterpieces till last weekend. So you know I'm saying like I don't know what I'm doing, what we're doing here, but man, uh, right off the bat, just because I can't help it, these are 13s for me. Double
Yeah.
13s. Reality
Double
is
13,
double
Albie.
13. This is because the way Rodriguez just shows his eyes, what we go through. I'm able to. I gotta say thank you a lot to him. I mean, I know he's. I get a little bit bitter because at these events we used to go to, and he would be there kind of more a little bit egotistic. But I guess I understand why when you're got millions of dollars and you're creative, and you live this little city where it's not LA. You know, he wrote a book, and I'm happy he wrote that book. You know, The Rebel Without a Crew,
Mm-hmm.
and he talks about it, mariachi and how he filmed it, and he just knew how he figured out the thing. I felt like I thought he was only trying to get money, and I feel maybe that's what he did after 2000s, because in the book he talks about just about money a lot. So I thought maybe he was just like a kind of a guy from rags to riches, was more about wanting all his riches or something. But as I start really seeing what he did, that's just his way of talking. That's just the way of him way of expressing himself. I have met him once. I thought, and this is another reason that I was going to come in kind of bad mouthing him, and I stopped. I was like, nah, man, I can't do that. I did. I waited on him. Well, I partially waited on him one time, and I was quoting movies from Desperado to him. He was like, "Oh man, I don't really watch my own movies. I kind of forgot that." I was like, "What? You forgot your own lines?" I was like, "I don't." I go, I'll know all your lines. You need me to tell you something? You let me know. You know, kind of that kind of thing. So all that being said, I got to say he did help me out where I'm at. Maybe he's not without him. I don't know if I'd be able to do all this lighting and storytelling and all our findings because I'm also understanding that when I was growing up, there wasn't that many people that I could talk to these movies about until now. Not like now. I was it was really hard for me and I didn't realize that was my safe zone, and I didn't realize I could share it. I didn't know that I could go with other people and talk to them about movies, and we could have like a bond or a common thing that you and I are showing other people you can do. I didn't have that, and I'm not trying to say that I'm mad or bitter or anything. I just didn't know. So sometimes you're not aware. And once I did find out, I was working at Sam's Club when I started noticing people quoting movies like on the reg, like where it was cool. Like, and then here I show up with my movie trivia knowledge, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's seen a lot of stuff," you know. And I that's when you start feeling a bit more accepted. It's not really the whole thing about being different, and that's what I like about these characters and the faculty. I'm able to relate to those characters, and not to say that I'm the artsy guy on the side or the jock, or just I've been a little bit of all those people in this movie. You know, up until maybe I was in Zeke until I became a father, because I know the badass thing the badass dad gene kicks in, and I'm like, oh, you gotta step up. But outside of that, like I do see that with Zeke, he kind of takes care of the crew. He's trying to, and he's kind of the genius of the crew. You know, so it's gotta be hard for him. It's shot in Austin, man. Shot in Lockhart. I was in Lockhart yesterday, you know, like driving through it, and I've been in those. To me, I can't. If I were to really rate these as just movies, I mean, the scene right here where Mary Beth is walking through the locker room, that shadow effect is so cool. It's an animation thing again. Like this is kind of it's kind of a stalker movie. Man, I mean 9 maybe if I were just a regular guy that not to have the nostalgia, grew up with this movie, loving it, and watching it in high school or watching it actually in junior high, right before I went to high school, and being like, oh, this is cool, something to know. I don't know what to say other than that. These are 13s for me. Dusk Till Dawn, shot in my backyard. I can't neglect that. That is home. That is you know. I mean, sometimes they used to make fun of me, say I kind of look like George Clooney, so I'd be like, oh, yeah, kind of, not like Seth Gecko, but kind of like be like more of the ER version of him, or the Danny Ocean version. But I always like watching that movie and be like, oh, cool, I could kind of be like Seth in a way, or no. But you know, you end up, I'm Tarantino shit. But like, it's just like you know, like I just think these movies are awesome. I was wondering, do you think we'd be able to make a shoot 'em up anymore? People are very sensitive with guns in movies these days. So this one, I mean, this one is not. It's a bunch of pistols and a shotgun, but the way they use them, you know, headshots. People getting shot in the chest. I mean, even when Jacob stabs Frost in the stomach with a shotgun, and he's shoveling it back and forth and cocking it and shooting it, and then he puts gonna hit him, and then even he just kills himself. Frost, he just dies. That's like kind of like the animation, the cartoon. Sorry, the cartoon part of it. Sorry, real quick. When Casey at the end of Faculty runs to the bleachers and it pins the monster against the wall, I was wondering, is that his safe place? Is that his like home? Because you know, usually when you're the outcast, you kind of hang out at the gym. Or I was trying to remember if he was actually ever, because I think if he knew about that area.
See, he was in the bathroom. He was out at the field whenever the coach was like, "What are you doing out here?"
Yeah.
So it very well could have been, because he likes places that you could be alone.
Yeah. So I feel like that, like he went to a place where because also when him and Stokely went into the pool, I was like, wow, that thing's water based. Why would you run into the pool area? And I was actually amazed how Elijah Wood was able to run around that pool and not bust his ass. Like he's running around in regular concrete slits, but not in the pool. And then when he gets impaled in the face by those little parasites. God, that has to suck. It's pointless. It just scars for no reason. Yeah. You know, it's like it was pointless. Because those things go in your skin and then they heal. But this one, it was halfway healed. I don't know. I'm getting a little too into it. But,
no.
I do love both these movies. Even Dusk Till Dawn, it is. If you're a horror fan, you've already seen it, or if you're getting into horror, I'd recommend it. But God, you better be ready. It is really dark. It is really Tarantino. Really like. I also noticed, if you notice on the freaking cover, it has Tarantino's name twice as an actor on top, and written by, directed by Robert Rodriguez, written by Tarantino. His name's on there twice. It's right here and right here. So
one thing that I did have written down, since we're talking about Tarantino and everything, there was a kind of callback to Pulp Fiction. Whenever Seth Gecko is coming back to the hotel with his dinner after going out and checking everything, checking out the border and all that. It's a Big Kahuna Burger.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. So I looked at that. I was like, okay, yeah, yeah.
Because he does the three, and he realizes that he's like, wait, there's a third person here. He was gonna feed the teller. And I
Yeah.
guess and that shot too, where you see them driving. It's just like the beginning of the movie from dusk till dawn. It looks awesome. Like it's just an awesome vampire movie.
And then you see, and also like whenever they show the teller in there, like you're kind of wondering, like, okay, they had a third person, like, where's she at? And then they show her, and then you take off, and you start the journey and everything. Another thing about Tarantino too, apparently he has a big foot fetish, and so I imagine that's why he wrote in there that
I need the foot. I want her feet in my. That's why he got her the role so he could put her feet in it. Like, I heard she had good feet. I'm not a foot guy. I don't get it, man. I got a size 13 shoe, but I got ugly feet, so I don't think. I think once you get past 6, shoes at size 6, 7, 8, they're kind of cute, but then when you get to like 12, 13, 14, your feet are just so massive, they look gross.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I have here that Seth's his kid brother dies, but it's like he kills people. It's like he tries to carry for. I can see the relationship with my brother and I. We have where it's like you just grew up with each other. You kind of were the trenches of growing up together, and you don't want to kind of give it up. So, I also feel like that Seth messed up Richie. See I think I've covered a lot of the stuff. We've covered a lot of it, gone through this. I really do like I said, these are I'm sorry everyone, it seems like I'm just always saying the same thing, but it's gonna be like that, and maybe I am, maybe I'm secretly just saying it, but what I'm trying to say is that these movies are they're my beginning. Robert Rodriguez is from San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah, well, and like you said, they literally hit close to home. It's not. It's that makes sense, man. I mean, and I might have could have been a little bit more gracious to a Texas director.
No, but you're honest though. You're honest.
Yeah. No, I mean, these movies are great and they're shot well, and like you said, their cast in them are just like, dude. How he gets the cast that he does, like, because George Clooney, like, if somebody was to go back and retroactively, like, okay, I've seen George Clooney in all these like Academy Award winning movies, and then they go back and watch this, they're just like, what? Like, I feel like that would be the reaction.
But I feel like that's great acting. I think if you were to watch all those and then watch him, you'd be like, holy shit, that's a good actor.
This is how he got the chops right here. Is like. Yeah,
I need to check something out real quick because I think he did come out and the story was that he told Trey and Trey Parker, Matt Stone, that he wanted to be in South Park, and they gave him a role as the dog, the gay dog, and he only goes like his people said, hey, we want to be in South Park, and they told him, well, we only have this role for you, and it's the dog, but
he's in the movie.
He's in the movie.
He's the doctor that tries to save Kenny, so he's a little bit of callback to ER. And they end up putting a potato in for his heart.
Yeah, for his heart.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that there's Salma Hayek's on top of him, and she calls him, I'm gonna call you Spot. I wonder what the name for the dog was on South Park.
Ooh,
or maybe it was Spot.
See here.
But
I bet you it was.
That's fine. Man, you know what? We did it. We got to do some movies during October, and I would like to say I'm happy that we ended the Halloween, because it's still Halloween. It's side by side world, and I'm still rocking the MTV. I like the meme that says, "Today MTV turned 25. Thank you for 12 years of good music videos." But
Sparky was the dog's name.
Sparky, oh yeah. But like the end is the end. And especially the way I had my Halloween, I had a great time, and being I was a vampire myself.
Yeah.
So, without even knowing, maybe I did know, but I made that costume for like $4, so that's not bad. That was my goal. But to end it with this movie, for me to watch a sci-fi, I love sci-fi movies, and horror for Dusk Till Dawn is like extremely violent. But I like that it got a little bit of both. And now what we're going into the month of November, because it's November 2nd, and I'm wondering what we're gonna go to. I wonder if we're gonna do trying to figure out where to go. Where should we leave the vessel here? And I don't know. Let's see what we got. We did talk about. We were talking about what do you call it? Or just right now, I'm running on fumes. Everybody, sorry, my voice is going.
Well, we were talking about Matt and Trey.
Matt and Trey, there you go. I was like South Park.
Okay, so I have a buddy of mine who has been trying to get me to watch Orgasmo for like probably close to 10 years now, and I have yet to watch it, man. Now I don't know how you feel about that, if you would be down to watch it. I haven't seen it, and I think a good side-by-side of that movie, if we're going to stick with Matt and Trey, is going to be Basketball. Those are just a couple of ones that I'm throwing out.
You want me to keep throwing 13s up? Let's do it.
Yeah, dude, there's a good chance that Basketball may be a 13.
Yeah, dude, let's see. I want to see. I mean, we know what CJ lies. We know where I go. Where Ben's the one we got the code cracker. And I will say, I'll throw it back there real quick with Faculty. Yeah, I'm with you on your scores. If I was just to tell, if I didn't have the nostalgia factor and I couldn't really, if I were just to watch it. Man, it's too much nostalgia, dude. I'm sorry, I can't go back on this. I can't break them down, dude. Because not only is this movie shot in Austin, and they're shot in Lockhart, and shot in Del Rio, and shot in all these places in Ciudad Acuña. I was also in high school right before it, so like I can't even break that part of it. Like I'm too much into these. These movies are too. And also I wanted to say this. I did want to say this. If you are from Southwest Texas or you're the Valley or the border, and you don't know who Robert Rodriguez is, or you don't know who Troublemaker Studio is, or if you don't know any of these movies, please let me know, and I will tell send them your way, because this is where a lot of those areas are. The movies were made from that area, and for kind of like people like us, so we kind of get the movies. But yeah, like I really want to throw out, these are movies that I enjoy. I just put them on. I really want to watch. I mean, I put it on right now, The Faculty, but I could watch it again. Like the Dusk Till Dawn, I'm gonna take a break on. Man, that's too dark for me. Now with the sun, that really, that's a little hard for me. I don't mind doing something once a year. I could watch Faculty every day, but Dusk Till Dawn's gonna be a Halloween October movie. But yeah, I'm down with some Matt and some Trey. You want to go? Let's do it. So let's go. We're doing Orgasmo, and we're doing Basketball. Man, I'm gonna be laughing my butt off this week.
Dude, I'm telling you, man.
We're getting there, people. Thank you for hanging in there. I had a long day today. Just to let everyone know, I was in San Antonio at Fiesta Texas doing the Fan Fiesta. I went on the panel today just to go. I feel kind of dumb now I'm thinking about it, but I was like, I wanted to go. I love my Comic-Cons, my expos. This is where I get to relax. I got to hang out with some of the the other patrons that were there, and it was a good time. I did get some questions in, and I mean, Ray Park was there, and everybody's talking about Star Wars, and I'm talking to Ray Park about the conversation we had a year ago, and I expected him to memorize it, and he did remember. He said he remembered it. He did bring it up a little bit, but it was cool that it, got to do that, and that brings me joy. So I kind of let all my energy there, and I still got to do the side by side, because it's what we do. We enjoy it, and thank you for tuning in and listening to us, because this one was kind of a long one. If you didn't gather any information from this, I'm sorry. It's like I could write and talk about them, but I just love these movies. They're in my blood. If you ever end up getting farther than where I get to the distance I need to go in filmmaking, everyone can know that there's a start to someone's, and this was kind of my start. Not to say that I worked on these movies, but to say that they gave me the window of opportunity to decide if I can do it or not, and then that's what I love. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. And that's why I'm handing out 13s. 13s, who wants a 13s? You get a 13. I'm going to be the Oprah of 13s, man.
Everybody gets a 13.
13. All right, well, we're going to let you go. And MTV out of here. So thank you for listening to Side by Side of Robert Rodriguez. Next week, we'll be doing Matt Stone and Trey Parker, Orgasmo, and Basketball. I'm CJ Robles.
I'm Ben Garrett.
It's just Side by Side. Thank you. Peace.